What is going on, everybody? What is up? It is me, Vincent McLean, the Comic Machine, and I am back again, finally, fucking finally, with another Monday Night Jibber Jabber. You guys, this was a big deal for me today because I haven't been this hyped other than just picking up my good, normal comic books, weekly and stuff like that. But I haven't been this hyped for something comic book related to where I was like, okay, I got to do a live. I got to go live. I got to do something. And this Moon Knight trailer, holy shit. Yo, this thing is so freaking awesome looking. So awesome. I am so excited. I'm just freaking excited. I don't even know what to say. I really don't even know what to freaking say about it because I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. So I had to do a live. I actually had to do my job as a YouTuber and comic book creator and actually do something live for a change and actually come back to you guys and make some announcements too as well for my 500 subscriber giveaway. That is going to be announced too as well. But whatever, I don't give a shit. I don't have to work till tomorrow until 4. So I can go live for the next couple hours. So whoever wants to hop in here, I put the link to the StreamYard in the comment section on this live here. If you want to join, hop in, discuss, hang out, do all that awesome fun stuff, you're more welcome to hop in. It's pinned in the chat. So feel free to hop in whenever you want. But yo, I'm for real. I'm so fucking excited about this. So let me add somebody here. Look who's here. Look who's here.
Hey.
What is up, dude?
Not much. Just hanging out, watching some Moon Knight trailer.
Okay, how many times have you already watched it since it got released? I've watched it 3 times already.
I watched it twice, and then the very end when he's beating on that creature, I was trying to get a better look at it. It looks like it's like an Anubis or something. It
looks like a dog. Yeah,
like an Anubis, he's got the snout face and the goofy legs or whatever, like the monstrous looking legs. Yeah. I was already in a couple of chats talking about it. The one and only complaint that I have comes from just my level of selfishness. I want to see more Moon Knight, in suit, that's the only complaint I have whatsoever, which isn't a complaint about anything other than just they're still teasing me. They're still teasing me. They're making me want more, and I just want it now. But I love the whole psychological angle it's taking. I love the dark grit look to it.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks fun.
I am super hyped about that, showing his psychosis and everything that he's got going on. I'm definitely super excited to see that. Let's hit up this chat here real quick before other people, whoever's gonna hop in and we get caught up in discussion. Skeff, yes. Hopefully you can hop in here at some point. It looks like it would be past your children's bedtime, so if you hop in, by all means. If not, man, I'm very hyped. I'm glad you stopped by to say hello. Automatic Comics, what's up, man? It's been a while. I still look at all your stuff on Instagram. I'm very jealous of all your slabs. Cole, yes, sir. I am super hyped. If you didn't have a sleeping baby, yes, hop in. What is up, old school? What is going on? It's been a while. Hopefully you're doing well. I wanted to see more of him in his suit as well. It looks awesome. I like that they're going kind of like a mummy suit direction. I kind of like how that looks rather than just the traditional almost Batman smooth suit, the animated smooth suit kind of thing.
They had to do something because it's just just have him slick like a seal, painted white.
Right.
You can't just run around with a white hood on in 2022. No. Can't do it.
No, you can't. And it was so cool to see the suit envelop him. And whenever he puts it on, it was just oh, that was so cool.
What are your thoughts on that comment? Moon Knight looks great fighting werewolf by night. Do you think he was fighting werewolf by night or an Egyptian lore creature kind of thing? That's what I assume was Egyptian lore kind of.
Well, let's bring one other person in this chat who honestly doesn't know any more about Moon Knight in the community other than
is it Dave?
Comics.
Dude, I was in the process of sending this guy the link.
Bro, literally, I think Dave was the second or third person I hit up in the chat. I was like, yo, what's up? We're doing this live, right?
Yeah, I'm over here working the link up to the chat.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing much, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, who else are we going to have on here except the only dude that literally his entire name and his channel is dedicated to Moon Knight? Like, of course, we're going to have him on the show. Hey, Dave, okay, we got to hear your opinion on this, okay? So,
Yeah.
Moon Knight looks great fighting Werewolf by night. Do you think he was fighting Werewolf, or do you think it was like an evil Anubis type kind of dog creature that was sent to?
Yeah, it could have just been some like Egyptian, minion character that just showed up, some warrior possessed,
Right.
I don't know if they would let any like predominant Marvel character lay waste to any other predominant Marvel character like that. Just let him just beat the dog crap out of Werewolf by Night and walk off like that.
Yeah. So I think one of the coolest parts about the trailer that we got is I felt like we got like a true trailer. Like they showed us just enough to get us all hyped, because this apparently is supposed to be like the bloodiest and like heavy duty mature show that Marvel has put out. Like even considering like the Punisher and the Daredevil series, like this is supposed to be like super bloody and gory and beefy, like how Moon Knight is supposed to be.
Punisher and Daredevil,
it's supposed to be pretty bad.
Because those are R-rated. Like, I mean, there was Netflix, so it's TVMA, but those are R-rated shows. Disney Plus is going to put an R-rated property.
That's the only thing I don't think it. I don't know if it's going to be R-rated or not. I don't think it will.
I don't know.
It's going to be pretty close to it.
Yeah.
They're going to try to make it very dark, very gritty, very gruesome. And that's what's going to bring the whole new dynamic into the MCU. Is
Another thing to consider is also, not besides just the blood and gore and whatnot aspect of it, a lot of the Motion Picture Association rating does also include like terror and like insanity aspects. Like that does also factor into a mature content.
Yeah. Content.
So maybe they go that direction and they give us like good like splatter of the gore and stuff, but it's more focused on the actual like mental capacity and stuff.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't think for a second, even after seeing that this is going to go anywhere near a TVMA. I think it'll be a hard shift from everything we've seen because of content, like about a man with mental issues and everything. But in classic Disney fashion, I don't think they're going to break their mold of not letting us down with letting us down on certain things. It's going to be a Disney Plus show in that aspect. So I'm trying to keep those expectations in a manageable place. Like,
let's just hope it brings us to that level.
It's Disney Plus, man. They couldn't even put in. They cut an episode of What If because they thought it was too frightening.
Yeah,
like what are they really going to do? You know,
I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's hit this chat up a little bit more. Automatic Comics. I liked it as something different than White Batman. Absolutely, I think his suit looks so cool, and like him standing there, and it just like whoop, suit on, and it just like full on mummy wrapped him into the suit. That was so sick.
I thought that was pretty sick. I liked how it just like it wrapped him. I don't know if that was just like a teaser for later on in the series, or if that's just gonna happen right off the bat when he goes, he meets Khonshu and just gets the powers. So that'll be pretty interesting to see.
Right.
That's like a regular transformation or a one-off, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Steven
C.
There was kind of like two different scenes where you see him putting a suit on. There's one, like it happens at the same time, but it cuts like one, he's standing in front of a mirror with it happening, and then the other one he's outside where you actually see it start to go around him.
Look at this dude over here.
I'm so excited. I was so excited.
Like,
I can't wait.
Like, honestly, like I am excited that I have the Moon Knight books I have. Like, obviously, the Werewolf by Night 32 is the biggest one to get. It's unfortunately it's been out of my price range for a long time, but I would love to get a copy at some point. I don't know how I'll afford it or when the hype will decrease to where it's not astronomical, but I'm glad I have the Moon Knight books I have now, especially just because the trailer was just so hype. It was so big. But yeah,
it might have to wait a while now.
Yeah. Automatic Comics. I finally watched Eternals last night, and it was so bad I needed something awesome to push it out of my brain. The trailer did the job. Okay, I 100% agree with this because I did watch the Eternals yesterday, and I was also kind of underwhelmed, unfortunately. It was really cool to see the animation with the Celestials. I thought that was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say the movie was kind of underwhelming, like for the most part. Like 2 hour, 45-minute movie. Like there was just not enough. There was not enough Eternals Kirby goodness, so I get it. Chris Padilla says Moon Knight is being rated R overseas.
That's a very broad statement. Overseas.
across the pond.
Yeah.
There's so many places
like,
overseas that don't do it the same way. I mean, like,
does Lake Michigan count as a sea?
Yeah, it has to.
Maybe Toronto.
All right, Jim says part of my reason is because their fight goes for 2 issues with a draw. It will be more exciting than just fighting some nobody. Yes.
Y'all think they're going to roll out Werewolf by Night in this?
At
I
the
don't have any
very
expectations.
end with like a little teaser, maybe.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a cameo.
Just a little sprinkle.
Yeah.
Like if Echo's getting her own show and stuff like that, I would expect them to want to do him his own justice and his own show. They're not really like burning off characters anymore. You know, they're really holding everyone back for their own stuff so that they, you know, people are responding good enough to it that they can do all these other characters and they don't have Cap or Iron Man, so they got to keep throwing stuff at the wall till something sticks heavy.
Yeah,
it's going to get more into the sci-fi horror, so I would expect Jack Russell to show up at some points. You know, Jack Russell, Blade's getting his own movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all going to tie in. It's all
it'd be like a big monster verse kind of. Almost
look,
bring us the Legion of Monsters. Yes.
Look. Of all the books that I missed out on, I didn't miss out on that Tomb of Dracula 10, and me and Mark are in the same boat. Both of our high five.
CGC right
both
now.
of our stuff is at CGC. That was pressed and cleaned by Justin Comics. Justin Comics, not a completely shameful plug, and I don't give a shit because Justin Comics did a
shame.
It's absolutely shameless. Justin Comics.
Yeah.
On
it's
Instagram,
Justin. We know Justin.
Promo code We Are Legion for a box you get one free coupon.
Yeah. He did such a great job. I'm so excited. He says he checks like my stuff like every 2 days to see what the status is because
he's starting a whole. I love that he's starting a whole new career and it's beautiful.
It's so great. But yeah, I'm so glad of all the big books that I missed out on. I did get the Tomb of Dracula 10. So if there's going to be a time with the new Moon Knight, that's going to be awesome. But I'm super glad. I need that book. That was on my list for a long time.
This is what we need. We got everything, including Dave's Man Thing.
Yeah.
He's the
you know what's a book that's still probably like that hasn't blown up yet. That's still probably going to pick up. Is Werewolf by Night #1.
Oh yeah.
I got me a copy of those.
Issue #1 is still.
So there was a recent record price that no one has brought up to attention. There was a Werewolf by Night issue #1. 9.8 recently sold in the beginning of the month for $40,000.
It's a sleeper. What? Yeah, man. Yeah, Werewolf by Night.
No one is
anymore. 40,000, Steph. That's a sleeper.
No, but no one's talked about it. But that was a record sale, $40,000 for a 9.8.
It's just it's not seen. Like Mark talked, like it's something that no one brings up because it's nothing major. It's just a first, but it's. Werewolf by Night #1 is an iconic issue that you should track down when you can. Also, Vincent, there is a 0.5 Werewolf by Night 32 on eBay for less than $1,000.
I can't afford to buy that right now. I can't. I mean, if you want to buy it for me and A-OK it, you know, I'll take it, but I can't put the money up for it right now, you know. So, but yeah, I'm
5. Good God.
Yeah. It's insane.
This is not the time to buy that book, people.
No.
Nobody watching this buy that book.
Yeah, do not try to buy a Werewolf by Night 32 at any point.
Unless you like 0.5. If you like 0.5, then
don't even buy that. That's not that for 0.5 for that price.
I wouldn't invest in that.
Not even for your PC. Now's not the time to PC buy that book. Unless you find it, unless it's one of those hunting scrolls.
Right.
Of course.
What's up, Nick? Look at
We'll
the
go
panel
blind for
and
it.
Mark. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
if you,
Hello,
if
the
you
link
David,
guys,
to
what's
join
up?
is in the chat, Nick. The link to join is in the chat.
Yep. Link to joins in the chat.
so if you
Hello,
guys
Dameron. There you
want
go.
to know who
Nick said
that
he
villain,
fought it. Yes.
What'd you say, Mark?
so if you guys want to know who that villain is that Ethan Hawke is playing,
Yeah, it was,
Yes. I wanted to ask you about that.
I know who it is.
I knew who it was. I just couldn't say it. I had inside information for about a few weeks. But the character he's playing is from Fist of Khonshu, issue number 2. He's playing the first appearance of Harrow.
Okay.
I would have sworn it was David Koresh when I saw everyone kneeling in front of him.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of had those culty vibes looking at that too. I didn't think about David Koresh, but I was like, oh, geez, was it about the
So that book is probably a book you can find easily in dollar bins. Nobody was after that book. No one's after that series.
What book is it,
Only issue 1 was the title, the new ongoing like suit he had on. It was from issue 1. That was the only key in that series. This is from volume 2. Volume 2 from I think 1985, issue number 2.
It's already ruined. Look at this. Look at
Oh,
this.
I'm sure it's already blown up on eBay.
Look at this. $200.
Yeah.
174.
But you guys could probably find that at LCSs in the dollar bins, or probably under $10 all day. It's
Or
not a book
small
that
shows, yeah.
Yeah, but you
nobody
can
was
get the
hunting
number
for that
one.
book.
You can get the number 1 for $20 still.
What does the cover
Yeah.
look like?
It's this one right here.
Yeah. Yep, there you go. It's a pretty cool cover.
Fist of Khonshu. That looks like the thing he was beating up.
Yeah, that kind of looks like it too.
There it
Yeah,
is.
actually,
I recognize those thighs anywhere. Those are the same thighs.
it's a rather short series. I think it's only 6 issues,
Yeah.
but you can easily find these in LCSs.
Yep.
There's no reason why not.
It's already completely blown up. Like the
And I
new
think
listings.
Issue 6 that you see there at the end is actually a painted cover, which is pretty cool.
Dave probably went and bought them all for the last 2 weeks with his insider.
yeah. Dave's got like 20 of them just hiding away in
There's
the corner.
actually only 18 9.8s on the census. It's really low print because nobody was submitting that book.
I feel like Dave is the 9.8 like run completionist as Andy is with Punisher, but for Moon Knight. I know that's not what you do, but that's what I think about. Like, you know, that's what I think about. Steve C. The only downside to there being a series is now Moon Knight books have exploded. Of course, I mean that's how it works.
That's how it is.
You know, I don't remember. It was probably on your show, Mark, at Week's End. I think you were kind of touching on that, talking about how like the only reason why these books get the way they get is because of TVs and movies and whatever. Like before currently before that, there was no real other hype unless it was like, you know, the death of Superman that, you know, hits the news and stuff like that. And people are like, oh my God, Superman died. Like what? You know,
it's a mixture of a few things. Like the FOMO element, obviously, everybody wants to have a piece of something valuable that's talked about because you get that feeling of inclusion, and everyone likes to get that feeling of inclusion. And the other thing is like you might not know about these people, and that's your introduction to them. You know, so this is like you said, that's your version of the news. Yeah. And seeing everybody, like when anything's announced, everybody takes to Instagram or the Twitters and starts talking about how this has always been their favorite character of all time, and everyone's like, I want it to be my favorite character too.
Yeah,
so they got to go get it. Got to get it.
There have been 45 completed eBay listings for the Fist of Khonshu as of today.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
And Dave was 43 of them.
I actually just wanted to see the Moon Knight number 1, see how much that was going to increase, and I just put newly listed.
I just sold one today.
I've got.
And to be fair, I only bought 1 issue today.
That's it.
That's it.
Hell, I would have bought at least 2.
I gotta share the love out there, you know.
I appreciate it,
dude.
It's
look
a really
at this.
cool thing.
$215 for a raw copy, like 150. Like it's blown up so much.
Someone got a deal on mine. I ended up selling mine for like $71 on my Whatnot sale today.
A lot of people were speculating that it was going to be the Bushman he was going to be playing, or Dracula, or his brother, and they were all wrong.
Yeah. So this is the series that I think I hope they kind of like try to dive into a bit too,
David Finch
because
series,
it kind of feels like that.
That was one of my first reads as a comic. That was like one of my first comics I've ever read.
Yeah,
was that 2008
Yeah.
Moon Knight, right?
Yeah.
I think it was
I
a little
believe
bit
so.
earlier. I think it was a little bit earlier than
I
that.
forget.
It was like 2005 or 6, wasn't it?
It was,
I got us covered. I got us covered, boys.
I don't think it really matters.
2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my favorite Moon Knight cover is the bloody cover.
Yeah. I just remember
issue number
starting
6.
that and seeing him with his legs like broken off, but still attached and dragging himself.
My favorite series is the one there that Moon Knight Warren Ellis run right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. I feel like they're combining this series and this series a bit, from this series for the mental capacity, but the dark and gritty, I feel like they're doing that. So if you want to buy a Moon Knight #1, I would suggest the 2006 series.
Oh,
at
nice.
least get you that series.
That's
What you got
is that the Varangi cover?
It's the 1 in 25. Yes, the 1 in 25
Yeah.
of number 3.
Yep.
That's really cool.
This is a ghost.
Yeah, it really is. It's a tough one to find. Yeah. I've never seen that one in the wild.
So I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping for a 9.6 on this one.
That new Raza cover is already spiking. That just I don't know if it even is out for sale or if it was just a pre-sale.
The Raza coming out this week.
Yeah, with the all white with the dude like the
Yeah.
business. It's already like completed sales for like $25 online and stuff.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's a cool cover. Definitely a cool cover.
I like Raza. He does great artwork. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
Like this is this. I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. I literally. Like, I messaged almost every single person I already had in the chat. I was just like, did you guys see this shit? Like, holy freaking cow. Like,
yeah, good stuff.
I was waiting for that trailer because I was watching the game and I was like, this game's over.
every game this week.
Blowouts. And they're like, all right, this is the only thing I have to look forward to.
So what was the game that was going on today?
The Cardinals Rams. It was a divisional playoff game.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, because I was like, Super Bowl isn't tomorrow. Why would it be on a Monday? Like, because I thought
like 21-0, and they were like, "Oh, get ready for the trailer. Stay for the trailer at halftime." That's what they kept on saying during the game.
Everyone else was like, "Well, this is over."
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. But yeah, guys, I'm so ready. I'm so excited. So, did you also hear, speaking of Eternals, when Automatic Comics was talking earlier, at the very end credits, when Home Skillet was looking at the Black Sword and you heard that voice in the background, apparently that was supposed to be Marshall Ali's Blade.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah.
It is Blade.
Did it sound like him? Because I didn't think it sounded like him at all.
No, it is Blade, yes.
It didn't sound like him, but
like when I heard it, like I had no clue who it was. I had to wait on like the official announcement to come out because everybody who watched that god awful movie felt the same way you did, Vincent, and we're like, we don't have a clue whose voice that is. Like, I saw Alita Battle Angel. I didn't recognize his voice at the end of that. I don't think they paid him to do that. Yeah. They asked the guy holding the boom mic, like, hey, say this line for us real quick. We'll give you $5. Yeah. And then they just put out an official release later saying that it was Blade. Boom. Boom mic guy made $5. We get excited. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
My favorite part about Eternals was that I'm like super confident that Null's coming.
From Eternals?
Yeah.
I don't know how it would tie in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So okay. So the concept is like, what is a celestial? Is pure light, right? Like like the only enemy of a celestial would be darkness, which is Null, and Null actually cut off the head of a celestial. So truly, the only enemy of a celestial would be Null.
Where'd you get that celestials are pure light?
Well, it's the opposite of darkness. They're all about creating things, right?
No, I think that was the stretch there. I think like they even touched on it in King in Black. Like celestials wouldn't be their opposite, like the god of light was, like Captain Universe.
Yeah.
Celestials are responsible for the creation of things like Null. It would be like more like liken it to Titans and gods in Greek mythology. That would be more like Celestials and Nulls, not equal opposites. I'm not discounting your theory. I'm just saying that's
hey, that one works too. That means Null's still connected somehow too.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
More
don't
like
think
Titans and gods.
I don't think at the end of the Eternals movie when he like sucked the Eternals, he's like, "You guys are in trouble," and
who did that?
like he sucked them out of the earth. He pulled them out. Whatever. Oh my god, calm down.
Yeah, that was. I thought that was the best part of the whole movie, right at the end, when Arishem just sucked her out, and
he just
like,
it was a really quick ending,
exactly.
Right?
So like,
it was a strong finish.
Like
that was the best part.
He took them from Earth because they were in trouble, but I don't think like with them going with Arishem to punishment, like that could potentially lead to like a battle for Null and Arishem or another Celestial getting their head chopped off by Null. Like I don't know. I don't see that direction from this first Eternals movie going to the second one.
I just saw a pure straight up setup of Galactus. If you read Earth X from back in the day, they pulled the whole like concept of the Eternals seeding the Earth from Earth X. And what they didn't get to in the Eternals movie, that it followed like you just follow that same story from the source material, is Galactus is the devourer of worlds. He was created to keep the cosmic balance of Eternals being born, because the universe is only so big, even for Eternals, there has to be a limit to it. So we know the Fantastic Four are coming.
Yeah.
Enough said. So, Galactus is going to show up eventually, period. Like he's like one of the most iconic Marvel villains ever. They just set up the origin of Galactus. Like, what is this creature? Oh, like he keeps the Eternals in check, you know?
So then like I could see that going into the whole thing where like, okay, well, we need Tiamat to show up. Oh my god. When did the season take her
with Hawkeye. Definitely with Hawkeye.
Yeah. But yeah, I could definitely see them tying it to where Galactus comes to devour Earth because they got to set Tiamat free so he can actually be born to create the whole life. And then that turns into like a whole new thing. But yeah, no, I'm sorry, Skeff. I know the Null is the long-term hold, but I don't know. I don't see him popping up in the Eternals.
I think the first seed that we've got to Null is the fact that there was a drop of symbiote left in the MCU. That's all that we have to anything us to Null so far. Like all the Sony stuff, like, dude, that is just a dumpster fire being shoved down the road. And Marvel knows it. Like Sony's pulling in money, they're happy with it, but they pay attention to what people say, like whether they make smart decisions based off what people say. Like they see money coming in, but they're not like, they know the potential that could come in. They see what these other movies make, and they see they're not making that.
Yeah,
like that's why they didn't. That's why they didn't invest any more into Venom 2.
Yeah,
they had pretty much the same budget as the first one. They're like, yeah, we know this is going to be crap. So they know they have to do something different or jump ship. So,
yeah. Look at this. They got Ethan Hawke cheap.
Like it's possible. That's probably why he's playing a D villain.
But I think he'd be great at it. I think he's gonna pull off that crazy.
I think so too. But he's playing a villain nobody even knew about.
So Dave, explain to us who Harrow, aka Ethan Hawke, is. Sure. Like, who is this person? Why are they a villain? Okay, bye, Skev. Thanks for stopping by.
Good seeing you. Have a good night.
All right. So please explain.
I have to reread it. I haven't read the series in quite some time. It's a fairly quick read, but I'd have to refresh. To be honest, I'm not too familiar on the villain. I know he's a very minor villain. He appears in those first few issues, and that's really it. You don't see him again.
All right. Dr. Arthur Harrow was a candidate for the Nobel Prize, and oh god, this is long. Let's see. Known relatives, known enemies, Moon Knight. Group name, occupation, clinical research scientist. First appearance, powers. Here we go. Harrow had no superhuman powers, but was a talented surgeon scientist. Harrow suffered from trigeminal, neuralgia, which paralyzed his left side of his face, pulled the left side of his mouth into a permanent snarl, and caused him constant agonizing pain. So he walks around with no superpowers, grimacing at people.
Yeah, he's like I said, a D level villain.
Huh.
Yeah.
So of all the villains he could have played in the Moon Knight series,
they picked the worst one.
One of the worst ones you could
I wonder if
possibly
they're just
find.
going to play him by name more than anything, because he's clearly like a religious fanatic kind of guy, that has a following. He had a nice wig and not a snarling face, so they're not going off the looks of the comic.
Right.
So they might just be reinventing the wheel with him. We've seen him do that with other
Yeah.
characters, and it works out perfectly fine and for the better in some cases.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case.
Okay, so
Otherwise it's gonna be a terrible series.
all right, so check it out on the
Very
Moon Knight TV series Wikipedia. It does actually finally have it on here. Ethan Hawke as Arthur Harrow, cult leader who encourages Spectre to embrace his inner darkness. Hawke said Harrow is inspired by cult leader Dave Koresh. Yeah,
Koresh.
Koresh.
Oh, dude.
Full on.
Dude, when I'm on, I'm on. How funny is
full
that?
on. Yo, what's up?
That's why he was saying in the trailer, "Embrace the chaos."
Yeah.
I don't
What's
think
up, Greg?
Koresh
Hop
would
up in
be-
here if you want to. I got the link pinned in the
You know
chat.
what's funny is the second we watched it, like the second I watched it, I was in a chat talking to Dave, telling him we were just talking, and he said, "Well, they showed us the villain." I said, "I don't think anybody's excited about Ethan Hawke playing David Koresh. We're here for Moon Knight, just messing with him." And then they seriously like him in the David Koresh. That means they did their job right if that's what they were going for. Because that's the vibes I got.
All I got was cult leader too. Like I didn't link it, but like now that you said it, it's like I can totally see it. But yeah.
So now we know how it's going to
pretty
end. Moon Knight's going to call the cops, and the FBI are going to
They're just
take
gonna storm his house.
they're going to storm his house without a warrant and accidentally kill his whole tribe of people.
Okay, look. Ethan Hawke's career is actually pretty decent. Like I don't know about that. So
We were talking about
but we'll
David
see.
Koresh's career. You got to look him up, man.
Yeah.
That's-
Koresh's career ended really badly.
Yeah.
So did you watch the Netflix Waco TV series? That was actually really good. I really liked their take on that. You're here to learn. All right, cool, awesome. We're also here to learn too. Because like there's nobody else better than Mark Spector Comics to tell us more about
I try.
Moon Knight.
So
So now in the elevator scene when he's freaking out,
that was sick.
Khonshu coming down towards him, or is that a villain or like another one of those like evil minion kind of things? What is your take?
It could be Khonshu. It could be something he's seeing. It could. I don't know. It looked pretty creepy because you saw that. It looked like Khonshu. It looked like some sort of Egyptian figure.
Right.
And then it turned into that lady, which is hilarious.
That was hilarious. I don't know if you noticed, but in one of the other scenes when he's running like in the museum hallway and the shadow of the light is following him and it's the half moon.
Oh,
Yeah, the half moon. I was like, okay, that's really cool to see there too. I was honestly halfway waiting and expecting to see when he was tossing up the Rubik's Cube, when he was thinking and he was playing with it, when it would come back down or we go to toss it, it was like completely done because like his whole psychosis and everything that was going. I was kind of hoping that was going to happen, but that didn't happen. But yeah, let's see.
I did like the music they were playing too, the Day and Night by
oh
Kid
yeah,
Cudi. I don't know.
That was really cool. That fit really well. I really did enjoy that as well.
All right, but
okay, what
I'm gonna
does
sign out.
Hey, what does Khonshu look
yeah.
like?
He has a few different personifications. You often see him as like this Egyptian god with a long beak.
All right, that's Khonshu in the hallway. If I just paused it, this dude's wearing a full mummy outfit, right? He's got a cape on. He has
There's a few different personifications
huge
throughout the
beak.
series.
It's like made out of bone and stuff, and he's holding a staff with a half moon on the end of it. So this is
kind of like the traditional version of it.
Hold on, let me share my screen real quick because you got to see this image, man. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get you in trouble on or anything.
I just saw Beard. It's gone.
Yeah. Don't play the video.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it kind of looks like with the beak and stuff like that.
So that image right there is Khonshu that you see often in the comics.
Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, it was so creepy, but it's awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited. Super excited. I'm gonna have to watch it again before I go to bed. Because like I want to see if I can pick out any other little Easter eggs or what other things to expect and stuff like that. That scene was freaking
was
creepy.
wicked.
It was creepy and hilarious with the old lady at the end. Like, yeah, that was super. That was super
Yeah,
cool.
that was one of my favorite scenes of the trailer. That looked sick.
Yeah. Yeah, him walking down. Yeah, that was freaky as hell.
All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. I have to get the bed early. I got an early flight.
All right, man.
But I appreciate you guys. We're talking about a little bit of Moon Knight tonight. Thanks, Vincent, for having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, Dave. I very much appreciate it. Take care, brother.
All right, good night, guys.
Later.
Dave,
No, Greg, I've already got a strike. Okay. I've already had a strike. I think it's probably gone now. Maybe. I don't know. I got to look. No, it's finally gone. So technically you can play it. I'll just get a strike in like 20 minutes, but like, no, I'd rather not.
will you get a strike then?
Yeah. Yeah. I played, it's Marvel Entertainment. I would assume that they would probably put a strike on it.
Well, I streamed DC Fandom on my channel, like the whole event, and
really?
I didn't get a strike. I got copyright hits, which don't count against you. They're just notifications letting you know
right.
that, hey, if you were going to be getting any monetary gain from this video, the people who are the copyright holders of the content get first dibs at that money. So
yeah, I got a strike for playing CM Punk's AEW debut back into wrestling. So it's AEW and it was a pretty big event. So yeah. Let's see. What'd you say, Greg? I am so ignorant on Moon Knight that I thought Dave's real name was Mark Spector for like the first 5 months. That is awesome. That is awesome. It sounds like Moon Knight is punching a dog in the scene.
That's just violent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty violent.
Sarah McLachlan would be pissed.
She would be so upset at that.
So upset.
Dude, so bad.
Did you watch Peacemaker yet?
No, I haven't watched. I don't have HBO Max. I'll probably watch it.
You do better, man.
Some other way. I mean, like we were talking about this the other day. Like,
it's so good.
I can't take John Cena seriously, but the role is not supposed to be taken seriously. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's still John Cena, and it's just like,
dude, I don't. What is it? Contempt prior to investigation. Don't write it off because it's surprising a lot of people. You know, there's a lot of people that were excited for it because they were happy with what he did in Suicide Squad. You know,
yeah.
There are some roles. There's some people, no matter what, there's just going to be some roles that work for them, and this, fortunately, is one of those that.
And that's what you were talking about the other day, and I agree with it. But it's just John Cena, and that's coming from a wrestling fan background, like. Just being shoved with John Cena for the past 20 years. I'm
I can understand that.
You know,
like you're just coming from a different level of experience with the actor, the character.
Yeah, you definitely need to watch it. It is so hype. The music for the trailer fits perfectly.
It's a full-length teaser. It serves its purpose well. It gives you some content. It doesn't overexpose it, and it leaves you wanting a lot more. And not in a bad way either, but
yeah. This is for you, Mark.
No, they don't have to. Like, you didn't hear me like going out there like bringing up Wonder Woman 84 when it came out because it just wasn't good. But Peacemaker's good. And, I mean, you said you enjoyed it too, Bearded. So
I was beyond pleasantly surprised with Peacemaker. Fire, triple fire. There you go. You know, I've actually not seen Wonder Woman all the way through, and I've never seen 84.
Yeah. Oh, the first Wonder Woman that's a solid movie, man. It really is. Wonder Woman 84, it misses on everything it attempts other than having some visually pleasant scenes here and there, which does not make up for it.
What? Are you just like how much of this is like actually true, like rumor, or you just trolling, Greg?
This much, like.
I gotta look this up and see if there's any.
He's clearly messing with you, man. What is up, War Machine Punisher? Dude, huge thank you to War Machine Punisher for that amazing box I opened up today. As you can tell from the video, I pulled an ASM 300 in that video, and I was still more excited about a box of cereal that this man sent me. No joke.
A box of cereal?
Yeah, it's an original 1989 Batman the movie box of cereal with the collectible bank still in it.
Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
There's a lot of those ASM 300s out there. A lot of them. Price be damned. There's a lot of them. There's not a lot of those Batman 89 cereals with the bank still wrapped. So
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
that's not
that
there you go. If you got to cast wrestlers, that's
there you go.
who you going to cast, Bearded. That's who you're going to cast.
Yeah, but the problem is Brock Lesnar's got such a high pitched voice. It wouldn't quite fit. He just wouldn't be able to talk the entire time.
Ryan Reynolds played him in Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds didn't play. Did he play
Ryan
Juggernaut?
Reynolds
He voiced
played
him.
Juggernaut in Deadpool.
Yeah,
So
but it like
doesn't matter. You know,
but I'm just saying because like they're not gonna if they're gonna have Brock Lesnar in it, they're not gonna do somebody else's voice over for Brock Lesnar. Like
maybe
it would.
they can
Yeah.
augment his own voice. Do you remember we were talking about those Hulk Hogan movies on the stream last night? So do you remember Suburban Commando? Where he played
That's the
Bambi?
Is that the boat one?
No, that's Thunder in Paradise. Suburban Commando, where he was the space bounty hunter that comes to Earth, and he ends up hanging out with Christopher Lloyd and Christopher Lloyd's family. Some other bounty hunters get sent to come get Ramsey. Hulk Hogan's character.
I've never seen this movie.
Undertaker is one of the bounty hunters, and they're mute the whole movie. And finally, at the end, when they're face to face, Undertaker just goes, "You're a dead man, Ramsey." And he goes, "That's why y'all don't talk." And they proceed to fight. It worked. It worked perfectly.
Yeah. No. The Hulk Hogan movies that I remember are
Mr. Nanny,
the boat one,
Thunder in Paradise, and then the animated movies or TV show or movie or whatever it was when like they were like training to be astronauts and they go into space. I'm gonna see if I can find this. And it was animated?
Yeah, it was animated.
I don't think I remember that one. Why isn't Greg on here at this point?
I don't know. He just like we're not talking Moon Knight right now currently, so like there's no reason why he shouldn't be in here, but you know, all right.
Talking movies with wrestling and comics sprinkled
exactly.
in. This is literally Bearded's forte right now.
Right. Like yeah, it was like an animated TV show.
Yeah, I can't picture an animated TV show Hulk Hogan did, period. Greg could just put it in the chat and tell us already, but no. He likes to watch us suffer.
Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. It was a TV show.
It's called Rock and Wrestling.
Rock and Wrestling. And it ran for multiple seasons.
What years was this? Early on?
Here we go. I don't even know why I'm not showing it.
You're mean.
1985.
Oh wow, yeah. How old were you in 85?
I wasn't born yet. I was born in 88.
Yeah, exactly. I'm an 87 baby. I'm an 87 man. That's what I am.
But yeah, there was like an episode where they were like training to go to space or whatever, and that like really like stuck with me back in the day. But I don't even remember if that's okay. Here he is. Finally shows up. What's up, Greg?
Not much. Listen, I didn't want to hop on because I was like, I'm gonna get my light out, and I didn't get my light out, so I'm just here and in the shadows. So
no, you're totally fine.
You look better than normal.
Yeah, actually,
well, because you can't see my face as well, which is better.
We just see different
you look totally
parts of your
fine.
face. Yeah, dude, we can't tell that you don't have a light on.
You can. If I brought my light out, you'd be like, "Oh, I can tell."
It looks good. You look good. You're good.
I appreciate it. That's kind.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, Tyler.
Hey, but just don't mention the name of that link when you look at it on stream, or you'll get another strike.
Oh, he sent it to me private on Instagram. So yeah. But yeah, I'm super excited.
For what?
Moon Knight, this Hulk Hogan cartoon, Peacemaker, just life in general is not bad right now for pop culture fans, you know?
No, speaking of like pop culture, comic books, because we're a comic book community. What'd you think about my pickups today?
Me or Greg?
You. I don't think
You know
Greg
what I
saw it.
think? Because I support your Instagram journey, and I left you a comment.
Yeah.
Man, here's the deal. I haven't been on Instagram at all today except for to post my own thing, and I haven't scrolled since then. So
I picked up a unfortunately I didn't pick
Wasn't
up
like the
any
first
Batman.
Swamp Thing
I didn't
meetup.
pick up Batman.
Batman
So
was in the Swamp Thing book, wasn't he? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I did see that. I just didn't comment because I was jealous of your first Dr. Afra.
So these are the three big for me, the three big ones. The Swamp Thing number 7 in an 8.0, and then first Alan Moore in a 9.2 minus or plus. And then the Afra number 3 first print. Guess how much I pay for that? Just guess. Throw it out there.
$30.
Nah. I'm guessing you got a deal, so I'm gonna say like $85.
Oh, that's
No.
a deal?
I paid 100. I paid 100
man.
for
I was
it.
gonna say, dude,
Now he's second guessing himself.
It's
said
hot.
30 and 80.
No, that's why I said a deal is 85. 100 is still a good deal. I mean,
Yeah.
any spec on a Star Wars book, and Dr. Afra's been spec'd on for 2-3 years. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Isn't it blowing up because of that that Wookiee that showed up? That's a
Yeah.
regular.
no, that's Darth Vader issue number 1. That's Dr. Afra's first appearance is what, Darth Vader 3?
It's Darth Vader 3, but Black Chrysanthemum and Dr. Afra are linked in the comics as well.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
wondering. I was
so
listening
because
to
they're
he
assuming-
showed so because he showed up, there's
That we're
possibility
gonna
that
get-
she's gonna get
I mean,
so
she has her own freaking series on comics, like from
Yeah.
Marvel. Like, there's no way she's not showing up. No other Star Wars character has its own solo series right now.
yeah.
I mean, I think there probably are others, but I mean, she has her series. It's impressive.
So like I'm always a Swamp Thing kind of guy, but what was it? Mint Hunter Comics and then Superpower Reviews both were like, hey, of the new things that we're trying to find and collect, decided to do like Swamp Thing, Bernie Wrightson 1 through 10, like high grade. I'm like, that's a freaking great idea. Like, let me jump on this bandwagon a little bit here. So I started out with that Conquest, and I picked this one up because that was the highest grade that he had available for a decent price. He had some of the other lower issues, but they were like 2 beat up lower grade books, you know, like you could get like a really nice looking 3.5 or like a 4.0, but these were just like really tore up from the floor up. And I was like, man, I can't get those low print, but I do have me a Swamp Thing number 1 on the way. Should be getting here in the next couple of days. I'm
Nice.
super
You have
excited
2
about
and
that.
3 already.
I'll show you what I got.
Show us.
I've got an extra 1, 2, and 3, and I'm trying to fund a Brave and the Bold 28 this year.
Brave and Bold 28. Is that Teen
Nope.
Titans?
Justice League.
Oh.
I've already got the first Teen Titans. I got the first Suicide Squad. I'm sure you've
Okay.
seen me putting that book out everywhere in the community.
Which one is that? Let me see it. No, I haven't.
This is 25. They predate the Justice League.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've seen that cover then. Not on you, not your version of it, but yeah.
But yeah, so the only Swamp Thing volume 1 I have is 7 and 18. And I actually have more of volume 2.
What's
So-
issue 1 going for these days? You said you just picked one up. What's the bought? Not how much did you pay for yours, but what are they roundabout going for?
Let's look.
A lot of Moon Knight on your search there.
I know.
So it's a guy with Moon Knight in his background.
Yeah, I put these up just because of this video because these are, I got to get rid of these because I got a Brave and the Bold that I want to get this year. And I don't say
That's the most Marvel books I've ever seen Mark have this
Right?
behind him.
That's not true. There's normally Marvel books everywhere.
All right, so you're looking that looks real sus. Let's see how bad this is.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. Colors look pretty bright for the most part.
Yeah, but
It looks like it's intact, but that thing is like beat to hell.
Looks like they kept it in their shoe when they weren't reading it.
Right. So average, let's call it 100, 150. I paid 100 for mine, so I felt like I got a pretty good deal. As you can tell, I was looking at this one too, but this one was just, I think, yeah, it's missing. No, it's just really bent around there
at the corner.
Yeah, it's like curling and stuff like that. But yeah, so like that Swamp Thing #1 easily, you're looking at 150. Shit, even my comic shop, which is here in Dallas, I think I bought mine off of my comic shop actually.
Love that website.
It's actually that's actually a really nice copy for a 3.0. And back looks good. But yeah. So that's one of the other things I'm looking for is the 1 through 10 Swamp Thing. High grade or nicer copies as I can get. It's like a pretty nice little goal there. But
well, hit me up when we're not on stream.
But I don't have a lot of Batman, Greg, so I'll show you what my Batman is.
Show me. I'm in. All right, you got that Damian.
Yeah.
You got Batman breaking his neck. Mm-hmm. You got the classic Neil Adams cover.
I got this in a 7.0. My dad sent this to me in a 7.0.
And you got that first New 52 and Batman Adventures. I mean, hey, that's not a lot, but it's good.
And then where's my dad? And then this is from my childhood, just the most random number that's beat to shit, and then 1000, that's it. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of Batman.
It's all right. That means there's more out there for me to get, so I don't care.
There you go. I definitely
all the Batman.
I want to get like some of those like Silver Age, like the Silver Age appearances, like late Silver Age, early Bronze Age.
I mean, the problem is they're just going for so much these days. I mean, if you're talking the villain Silver Age appearances,
yeah.
I'm just banking that hopefully the Riddler one goes back down eventually when the movie's like 6 months after this movie, because right now is so hyped up.
I am super excited about that too. Like, I am so high for Moon Knight, but ever since the most recent the Batman trailer dropped, that looks so good too. It looks really good. I'm all about the dark and gritty and feels very detective-y, especially in this one.
Which is what they need to do. I mean, They haven't portrayed Batman as a detective. They don't do it very often in the comics, let alone in the big screen. I mean, the most detective-y Batman's been portrayed was that whole like recreating the bullet scene in The Dark Knight, which is like, it wasn't super detective-y.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to that. And it looks like the writing for the chemistry between Batman and Catwoman is going to be done really well. And I think Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz, it looks like their on-screen chemistry works really well just from the trailer. So I'm excited to see how that's going to play out.
Well, and the writing on Batman the Imposter was a good 3-arc series, and it's the same person screenwrite for the Batman movie. So I'm like, nice. If they can keep that same tone that they kept in The Imposter.
Mattinson's, what was his name? Mateo something?
Yeah, Mattinson.
And I know Sorrentino did the that's the one that I knew was connected to the movie, the one that was doing what's called storyboarding for the film.
Yeah.
He did artwork for Imposter. That's why some of those images, you can see images in the Imposter that you see in the trailer, like that scene when Pattinson's sitting there with his cowl off,
eyes,
smoky eyes, brooding. That exact panel was in Imposter. I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
So yeah, where is it? Technology is great. Batman, the Imposter.
That's a smart move on their part to really just lean into the actual comic creators to help with these.
Yeah,
movies.
so Mattinson Tomlin,
that's it,
is a screenwriter for the Batman movie. And so
awesome.
That is badass.
And so I got excited about it because, I mean, in the Imposter, they put a lot of Dr. Leslie Tompkins in there, and I'm dealing with the psychology of Bruce Wayne and Batman aspect. And I think if they incorporate Dr. Leslie Tompkins into it, and they also drop some Scarface stuff, and man, I love me some Scarface and ventriloquist. So,
and the really Imposter was like the same time era. It's like they were kind of priming the market to see how people would react. And dude, everyone loved that Imposter series. It was really damn good. And like talking about leaning into the detective stuff, it leaned into it hard. And also like the realism of stuff that you don't really think about, like the pre-set up wires throughout the city so that he can traverse the rooftops, how many bikes he has just planted around the city, and all the premeditated stuff that he has to do to be able to operate that, you think, oh, he's just able to do this stuff. He's not. It takes a lot of
prep, and that's why he's a master strategist. That's that's what he is. It's actually kind of funny that you talked about that, because I watched a clip today on YouTube. You're just going down the rabbit hole, and it was the animated Doom scene where Batman is talking about the contingencies for the Justice League members.
Yeah, the Tower of Babel storyline that they turn into the animated movie.
Yeah, where he's like, this is what contingency I have in for Superman if he goes rogue, with the green kryptonite, or talking about the fire nanobites on Martian Manhunter and, Cheetah, and like a whole aerosol just, to fuck with her brain. And so she's like, thinks she's in combat the whole time. And
I think it predated the Tower of Babel story, but there was this Green Lantern story. It was either just like a one-off oversized book or just a few issues, but it was called The Last Will and Testament of Hal Jordan. And it was just him and a kid sitting there talking about his contingency plan for the Justice League. And it was awesome because he's talking to the kid and he's like, so when it all goes down, who we have to take out first? And the kid's like, yeah, Superman. He's like, oh no. And it just cuts to like the battle, like him envisioning the battle. And he goes, we got to get the most dangerous person out of there first. And you immediately see Batman strapped to a green bottle rocket flying away from the fight. Like, you got to get rid of Batman first and foremost. He's like, now who do we take out? I was like, now we go for Superman. He goes, not yet. And then it switches over and you see him take out Martian Manhunter with like a psychic helmet on his head. And then you go for Superman.
Yeah. It's kind of insane that, like, when you think about it, or the way that everybody has explained it, in the comments and shown in film and stuff like that, if you didn't already know that, when you get explained to it from like an outside perspective, like, oh, okay, no, that makes sense. Like, Superman is like the third person you go after to try and stop if he turns evil, versus Batman, then Martian Manhunter. It's just like,
because this was just like shutting them down. I mean, like, if it was like Injustice Superman or something like that, you better aim for the head real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You got half a second and one shot. That's all you got.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Greg?
I was just gonna say, I mean, it all depends on exactly what Mark was, which version. I mean, if you're going like, we got to neutralize Superman, well, Superman will tap into the humanity, so that's what makes him fall down third on the list. Batman don't give a F. Like, he's just like, nah, I'll do what I need to do to make sure what I think needs to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
And to that point in this story specifically, that's exactly how they took Superman out, was with his humanity. So right after they capped Martian Manhunter, the way that they stopped Superman was he was pulling constructs of all of the people he wasn't able to save. Like, all these people he couldn't save came up out of the ground. Why didn't you help us? And it just broke him. You know what I mean? Because that's his Achilles tendon, or Achilles heel, is like not being able to save everybody. He can literally hear everybody on the planet all the time, and he has to make those judgment calls every second of the day of who is he going to save? When is he going to say, I have to spend time with my wife while I'm still hearing a building burning across the other side of the planet? It's the world's biggest burden out of any comic character there is.
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't think they tap into that enough.
They don't. Bad writing. But Philip Kennedy Johnson, who's currently writing him, is bringing all this stuff back to life.
Good.
He is the perfect guy for the job.
It's like they're starting to tap into a lot of the other aspects and powers and abilities that they have that really show how overpowered and superhuman and all these other abilities that they have that you don't really know because it's not really featured very often. Like Superman is telepathic, and he can actually use his brain to talk to people. That's been featured a couple times.
He's been OP'd over time and brought back on, like, what is it, like right after it was Alan Moore that wrote those 2 issues, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, where it was like a what if future thing, and then right after those 2 issues, one was in the Superman title, one was in action. Then they came out with Superman #1, where he was no longer that Superman that was moving planets with his hands and stuff. They kind of brought him down a peg, and we're kind of in an era where they're doing that again. Like currently, Superman post the death metal event, without all the having to have an explanation, just whatever happened during all that has caused me to not be as strong as I used to be. So that's a good angle they're taking. He's not flying through at like 5 times the speed of light through 50 stars and knocking out a 5th dimensional being like he did in what's his name's run, Bendis's run at the tail end there. He's very, very vulnerable.
Well, and that's what DC's always been. That's their biggest struggle that they've always had to deal with. I mean, these superheroes that they created gods.
Gods, they're literal gods, yeah.
Except for Batman. And I think that's I honestly I think that's why they tap into Batman so much and reboot and have so many Batman comics, because what did Marvel always have that, and they always touted of, oh well, we have the humanity side of like Peter Parker and at least Tony Stark and these aspects, and it's more believable. It's easier to make Batman in peril, even though they basically make Batman a god in DC Comics now too, but it's always their struggle of we have to almost lessen the power a little bit. So it's like, okay, well, how can we make this believable of that Wonder Woman and Superman and the Flash and Aquaman, who's a god, like, are actually going to be in struggle.
They need to, though. I think this is me personally. That's why I've always enjoyed both. I'm not like a screw Marvel guy or a screw DC guy. I enjoy both.
Yeah.
The writing is good, right? I love Marvel comics. Like I have tons of Marvel stuff. You just don't hear me talking about a lot of it because a lot of the stuff I do, I'm talking about current books I'm reading. And right now, DC is just delivering better for me personally than Marvel is right now. But you have Marvel that's a lot of street level, relatable on a human level people. Even the Fantastic Four, they started out as people that were into a bad situation and they're making the best of it. Spider-Man just a kid, so much relatable stuff. Well, that's awesome. There's that over here. Now let's look over here. What do we have? Mythos and lore and legend and gods. We have Zeus and Superman. We have Athena and Wonder Woman. We have Mercury and Flash. We have it's a whole different brand of stories you can tell. So I don't think they need to try to.
And I agree with you too.
I enjoy that.
I agree with you to a point on that, Mark. I think they don't need to in the comics, because I think for us as comic fans, we appreciate that and dig into it. I think for them to sell it to the more general market for like a movie aspect or something, that's where it's tougher, because it's like, how is it, when you're doing the mythos of gods, basically, how do you humanize it a little bit to people who don't know the mythos or care about it as much?
I'll tell you one way that you do it, and it's going to blow minds, is CW just did it perfectly with Superman and Lois. Talking about how you really bring someone down a peg. His kids.
Yep.
Superman's been around for so long that you don't need to tell the same era story. You don't need just Superman and Lois going to the Daily Planet. Let these characters evolve. You don't need to lose where they come from. Let that be a part of who they are. But he's got Jonathan in the comics, and a lot of this stuff, like we were talking about with like the burden of being Superman, it's being presented to the readers as Jonathan's discovering these burdens for the first time. And Superman's like, little bro, I've dealt with this my whole life. And he's explaining to him all these troubles and all these obstacles. And we, as the readers, we can relate, like not on that world protector level, but definitely with like this relationship that he's having and like the way that he's coming to his father and having to just make these important decisions on like, how am I going to, like, where do I draw my moral line in life? Stuff like that. And
so this character, Jonathan, that's his son with Lois, right? I don't know much about
in comics, and then I believe on the CW there's a Jonathan as well, but there's another brother, right?
Yeah, the CW's done it different by just there's 2 brothers. There's Jonathan and Jordan.
Okay.
And I watched the first like 8 episodes and I really dug it, and I just got behind and I forgot about it, honestly.
So,
but like, it's really good. It's a really good story arc.
So Superman's son Jonathan is developing Kryptonian powers.
No, he's beyond. Like, he's been out for a handful of years since DC's Convergence thing that they did about 6-7 years ago or so. And they, for a few years, he just ran around with Damian Wayne. They're good friends and had their own little book. Fast forward, Bendis did a run where, just like Clark did, he went to the future and hung out with the Legion of Superheroes for a while. He kind of spent some years up there. They aged him up a little bit so that he came back and he wasn't a kid. We don't need a little kid forever. Let these characters evolve. He came back as a young adult, an older teen, and now he's actually the only Superman of Earth.
Yeah,
Clark is not on Earth. Clark is gone for, and he's going to be gone.
But he does have Kryptonian powers from
Clark, right? He is a legit Superman of Earth right now.
He is. Okay. Basically, what they've done is he has everything that Superman has. He has everything Clark had, and now they are. I mean, I think he's going to be. It's going to sound bad, like, because it's people like, no way. I mean, I think it's going to be eventually down the road of like the Miles Morales of you're going to have Clark Kent and you're going to have Jonathan Kent, Superman, and you're going to have two different factions of people, right? The old heads who grew up with Clark Kent as Superman, they're gonna love, and like, that's my Superman. I grew up with Clark Kent as my Superman. I'm going to still appreciate because I really love Tom Taylor's what he's doing with Jonathan Kent. I think he does great dialogue and makes Superman, humanizes him. And I think down the road that, like, I think this generation that's coming up with Superman now reading comics that's going to be Jonathan Kent's their Superman. I'm not saying that with Batman yet. Like with the I Am Batman yet, I don't think it hits on the same level. But I think Jonathan Kent, what they're doing is going to be like and it's not going to, I'm not saying like, oh, go buy all your first appearance to Jonathan Kent because you're going to get Miles. But for a lot of generations, it's going to hit that same level that.
I agree. I think Jonathan is going to stick. This is legit going to stick. He's not a replacement. He's another Superman. And I think they're going to do a good job with the writing of letting them come into contact and operate for a little while with each other or storyline with each other, and then have their own place to operate independent of each other. Because before Tom Taylor touched Jonathan, Philip Kennedy Johnson really ironed out this whole dynamic of passing the torch on. And it was beautiful. And it was Clark letting go and realizing.
So what do you call Jonathan Kent?
Superman.
He's called Superman?
He's still Superman.
There's again, because since he took on the mantle of Superman, you have not had Jonathan and Clark having to operate side by side. You know what I mean? Like, he came back and they were like, they went straight into space, did some stuff that was kind of just throwaway stories for the sake of showing Clark realizing he's an adult now, that he's got this, that he can trust that his son doesn't need him to protect him, that he can trust his son to protect others. And
so what is
Clark out of rebirth?
So who is Superboy?
Connor, who's
Connor Kent. Superboy is a clone of Superman
and Lex
Luthor.
Okay,
so that's a separate. Gotcha. So the 1990s, the leather jacket, glasses.
He's still Superboy.
Yeah. So so I saw you pull up Flo's comment. Man, it's complete. Jonathan Kent's completely different than Wonder Girl. Jonathan Kent's been around already. Now it's just getting ironed out more. I'm a huge fan of Wonder Girl, but what the problem is I think DC rushed it out because Joelle Jones was drawing and writing it, and I don't think what DC wanted to put out, Joelle could put out with the content that it needed to be at the level. I think what's going to happen is they're canceling the Wonder Girl storyline,
but not the title.
She's not. Wonder Girl's not going away though.
Dara's not going nowhere.
Dara's going to still be floating around in the stuff, and I think once they give that time for that character to breathe a little bit, is different. So I would say it's Jonathan. First off, is completely different than Yara because Jonathan's already been established with series.
He's been around for years, yeah.
And I think you have Tom Taylor is building off of what Philip Kennedy did, is making it something that sticks. It's the same thing with what's happening with Nightwing. Nightwing's been around for years, but people are actually liking the Nightwing comic.
Yeah.
Because when you get a writer on it who understands the characters and how to talk to them, I think you will. And I think Wonder Girl's going to get around. I think it just is. I think DC wanted too much for a creator who was doing a lot of everything. Which in
Yeah,
comics,
dude, those two issues she did for Future State were stellar.
Everyone loved.
Oh my god! And not just that, she didn't write what was it called? Superman, Wonder Woman. There was 2 issues with her and Jonathan that shared a title.
Yep.
Phenomenal as well, and it was more lighthearted, just them like competing in the race with those GAWDs, and then the Justice League title that they existed on the team together, and they had those conversations on the rooftops with each other, like candidly. It was so good.
So this will blow it won't blow your minds, but you guys will get a kick out of this. So for the books that I picked up today that I showed you guys, I traded up my entire Donny Cates Venom run and my entire 1 through 14 Donny Cates Thor run as well. So those good DC books went towards, or those bad writing Marvel books went towards good DC books.
I mean, I still picked up. I'm still picking up Thor. I'm enjoying Thor. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of Thor, and I'm
God of Hammers.
Yeah. I hopped in on the Venom run on Venom Island, and I dug it. And I'm sticking around. I think I'm not going to be lasting long on Hulk. I've picked up issue 1. I have issue 2 sitting in my box, and I have not desired to read it yet. So
issue 2 is worse than issue 1.
Then I mean, I have a feeling
I kind of dug issue 1. I kind of liked the direction that they were going a little bit. Like I thought it was kind of interesting.
Question, like not joking, but what direction were they going? I'm not saying that any type of way, being dead serious.
I haven't read a ton of Hulk. However, I think it's kind of an interesting take that Bruce Banner is like fulfilling like an evil kind of like villainous role within the Hulk kind of thing. I don't know, like that idea that he has that he's writing, I really kind of enjoy. I really kind of dig it.
It's been done before numerous times where Banner was bad. But so for me, the only thing that's different about this Cates run from like stuff that's just been done on repeat is that Hulk is a literal starship.
Yeah.
A literal spaceship. He couldn't just go get in a spaceship. No, Hulk is a spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've read like 4 maybe issues of a Hulk comic throughout my life. And I think one was like Maestro.
Yes.
And I think like issue 1. So like I have no basis of going. So like I reached out to a couple Hulk fans and I'm like, hey, like Jeffrey Comic-Con, I didn't know you were a Hulk guy.
Are you shitting me?
I didn't know. I reached out to Jeffrey Comic-Con. I'm like, dude, tell me like what I should read because I don't feel like this is a good representation of what I should read for Hulk.
I did read the Maestro run, the first couple of issues of that. I did read that, and that was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was Peter David that wrote that, who was like one of the most
and I haven't
writers of Hulk in history.
I don't remember if I've read Future Imperfect 1 and 2 all the way through. I feel like I might have seen a couple panels or something like that, but I did enjoy that. And I've read at least the first 5 issues of Immortal Hulk, which is really good. So I know what good Hulk is, but like I like the idea that Donny Cates is going with Immortal Hulk as in Bruce Banner's evil, and he's taken over Hulk's body within his mind, i.e., a spaceship, which I think is pretty interesting. I do kind of like that. So, but see, Maestro is awesome. There you go.
Yeah.
The new Hulk #1 confused me so much, and once I realized that I actually understood it, I realized I was actually confused about why this story is a story. Yeah, Chris says new Hulk, boo. So I don't know. I'll probably stick through the first 5 issues.
In all sincerity, what I'm seeing is people that are familiar with the Hulk are not liking the initial start of this. Like I'm not gonna stop picking. I'm not gonna like drop the title. I'm less than 100 issues away from a complete Hulk run. I'm not dropping the title. Like if it gets better, it gets better, and I'll be happy. If it stays bad, oh well, I'm in for the ride, and there'll be a new writer eventually.
Right.
But it just people that have read Hulk, they're not really caring for it. People have followed the hype train over, or they followed Donny Cates over, or saw a new issue #1 and thought it's a good jumping on point. They're like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. We'll see. I'm kind of enjoying it, but it just looks gimmicky to me. Let's just do an overly excessive, like violent fight scene just to get people really hooked in.
Mhm.
And then let's do it again in issue 2. And they're not even telling a story yet. And it's kind of just a letdown, especially coming out of Al Ewing's run, which was like this deep, thought-provoking 10. If you're in it for the violence, Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk was 10 times more violent than this.
Yeah.
Like
that first
horrific Hulk book ever.
Like that first issue when he's chasing that bad dude and he like punches him through the window and he comes up to him and he's like, you think this is going to end pretty? It's not. And like Hulk's got this like evil face on it. I was just like, whoa, dude, like that is evil looking. You know?
See, I need to read more Hulk.
Hell yeah.
So you and DJ then are obviously talking about your Hulk runs, because he's saying he's collecting Hulk in his 2022 video, I think.
Yeah, he's a big Hulk dude.
You saw my 2022 video. That upsets me, Greg. No.
I haven't yet. Dude,
yeah, I kept my goals simple. I'm going to pick up that Brave and the Bold, and I want to cut my missing Hulk, because I'm including Tales to Astonish in this. You know what I mean? Okay. I want to cut that in half this year, because this is a horrible year to try to fill it. And I said this a few months ago when Cates announced he was taking over Hulk, that I'm going to have to stop grabbing Hulk stuff, because I'm not like out there just blowing money buying stuff. I just wait till I find it at good prices and stuff. But prices have went up on Hulk stuff in the past 3 months. So I can just like sleep on it and not really worry about it. But yeah, me and DJ talk about Hulk a lot. I have like Hulk statue unboxings all over my channel. I normally have like Hulk stuff up here.
Yeah, I usually got the 180.
Yeah, I just traded these out. I had the 385 and the Wolverine 8 and the first McFarlane on Hulk up here for the longest time with statues and stuff.
Yeah,
it hurts my heart.
Yeah, it shouldn't hurt your heart that much, because I'm a channel member, so I give you money anyway. So it shouldn't hurt your heart that much. Like, you shouldn't even give a rip. Like, I literally just pay you, and if I don't watch your videos, that's on me.
Yeah.
No, it hurts my heart.
No, my problem is
you need to come hang out with me on Sunday night, and we can talk about this in more detail on my channel and not waste Vincent's time.
No, you guys, like, I'm literally like, my bedtime's not till 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. So
I'm
like
off tomorrow.
I don't give a shit how long this goes. Like we can talk for however long you guys want to talk. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, no, I need to hop on streams more. My problem is I will the same thing you just said. You're like, oh, I bet you haven't seen Vincent's Instagram. I scrolled through, I saw it. I am the worst at liking. I'm the worst at commenting. I watch so many people's YouTube videos that I won't even, because of how I watch it, like it's on my screen or something, and I'm doing something else, like I forget the comment, and I'm like, I'm the worst at it. So like, if people like don't like or comment on my channel, I'm like, I can't say diddly squat, because I'm like, no, I get it. I'm horrible.
The way that I ingest most people's stuff is I'm like peeking over once in a while, because I'm haircutting a dog in the daytime. Like you're in the chat, you see, like if you catch it, like I'll post those jobs that I'm doing throughout the day in there and stuff. So obviously my hands aren't on my phone doing all that, and neither are my eyes running blades and scissors over these animals, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's tough.
Watch hours mean a lot to people, and I do think about that. So I'm giving them the watch hours, and I try to lean over there at the end or at the beginning, one way or the other, and hit that thumbs up at least.
Well, I got it kind of sort of in the same boat as you guys. I drive a truck 10 hours a day, so like I can't even spend the majority of my day Tuesday through Saturday watching videos. It's only till I get home, you know, eating something, catching up on video games, and catching up on the YouTube channel stuff. So like I'm the same way. I'll usually like stuff before I put a comment. That's usually what I'll end up doing for the most time, unless it's like, okay, this was actually really super awesome. We put a comment in here, because I don't want to just say some bullshit, you know. I'll put something, you know, decently responsive. So, but yeah.
I hope you didn't take that personally about his IG post. The only reason that I caught it is because he sent it to my direct message.
No, listen. I've come to this understanding of being in the community long enough that like, there's so many great people out there, and there's so many. So like, it's so like, man, it's so unhealthy, or like even so like just bad if you're like, oh my goodness, so and so is a channel member over here, but not on this channel or this channel, and like it's like, come on, like there's so much content and there's so many channels.
I was actually one of those people that worried about that until earlier this evening when you finally joined the Link Squad. I'm like, I can sleep now. Thank God. I've been sitting here stressing. I pause every one of DJ's videos at the end and read all those channel names, waiting on your name to pop up. I'm like, how could he be a channel member of my shit, but not DJ's? DJ's content is better than mine, right?
Look, I'm not a channel member on anybody, so
yeah, we're actually here to talk to you about that. This is actually an intervention. Look,
So-
we're here because we love you, Vince.
look. The way that I give back to you guys is I hop on your streams. I help get you the views, watch times, the likes and comments. All right.
we're
Look,
not worried about none of that. We
that's
appreciate you, man.
that's how it works. Like I'm putting my money towards my comics.
We're
but I'm
here to
gonna be there
bullshit.
to hang
That's
out
all
with
we're
you
here to
guys
do.
as
We're here
well,
to
so.
bullshit and have fun, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Vincent, don't feel bad because actually, like, I have a policy when I subscribe to a new account, I always unsubscribe to account, and this is my intervention. Tell Mark that I'm pulling my subscription to give it to DJ.
Gotcha.
No, real shit. When I saw you join the link squad, I'm like, damn, I wonder if he's still a member of my channel.
Hey,
Look, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna look because what if he's not? I'm just gonna keep pretending like he is.
So I wanted to ask you guys. So I kind of been stuck watching a couple of the guys like DJ. I've been watching a couple of his unboxing videos for the mystery boxes. You know, I watched Southern Comic Geek. He did the Journey in the Mystery Box.
Yep.
DJ did the Journey in Mystery Box,
Yep.
and some other people did. I don't remember if I watched theirs.
Alan May
But
Alan May did it. Yep.
picking and punching bought 2 of them. I think those will be up soon on his channel.
You guys don't do mystery boxes, right?
No.
For the most part.
For the most part, every now and then I'll buy one just to support a friend.
Okay.
Not anymore. When I first started my channel, I was an unboxer.
Right.
I did an unboxing once a week. I had a different mystery box. But I realized A, I just don't want to spend the money on it, and B, there are people who do it and do better jobs at unboxing videos than me, like DJ and Wink and all of those guys. I'm only subscribed to one, and people will be upset, but I get the Comic Tom.
Can I buy your eagle?
Yeah, you can have it. I don't care.
So
I'll give it. It's just we'll
so
talk.
when I started collecting comic books, like actually collecting comic books, I was also subscribed to the Comic Tom 101 mystery box because it helped build up my collection. But I also feel like at the time when I jumped into it, I was actually getting more comics versus random ass art prints and variant books that I didn't know or give 2 shits about. So I wanted to ask you, since you are subscribed, are you actually getting legit comics, or are you getting far more art prints and variant ratios that or whatever?
I'll tell you, I'm getting probably about 5. I think you get like 5 comics in a box. Let's see what the last one. So he does a lot of variants with Scout Comics, which if you're not indie collecting, I like indie books, and so they're doing now about two exclusive comics a month. So and they're doing the print. So like the Eagle E print that Mark wants is in this one. That same box, they're doing a Thor issue 20 variant, and they're doing a variant cover to Reggie Comics Collects book that he did. It's a special mystery mail call book. So that you chalk that up of not, but usually it's a Marvel or a DC book variant cover, and then you get like a Scout or a I don't know, whoever does like Buffy or Vampirilla. So like which aren't always my style. My thought is if I ever wanted to sell any of the variants, I could make most of what I get in the box. So I kind of look at it as like if I hid, I could. I also, when I got into comics, for me, I'm loyal. Like it's weird like this, like when I got into comics, I Googled like how to learn about comics, and it was Comic Tom's podcast.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was 100% the same way. But like I feel like the direction that he's gone, that he's changed. And I think I was talking to Dustin about this off camera like a couple of weeks ago or something like that. Like I feel like it's just been covering too much of like the biggest books we're talking about for these outgoing numbers and all this kind of stuff. But like back in the day when I started, like it was like, hey, these are some comics that if you want to get into collecting, like these are good entry levels or mid levels. You know, it seemed like it was more geared towards the collecting, and the comics that you get in the mystery mail call kind of reflected a little bit better of that.
I get that. My 2 cents, and I'm not like trying to come on here and be like a Comic Tom apologist or defender.
I'm not trying to be a negative Comic Tom person either.
I say this, like, if you don't like him, that's props to you. Right. I think you also have to understand, like, there is such a thing of like of growing and figuring out what works for your channel. Like, you can only take, like, I'm going to teach you about how to collect comics so far. Like, how many podcasts are you going to put out about bagging and boarding or grading the books or something? You've got to kind of find your niche that's gonna keep going. For him, it's been the speculative market, and I don't speculate on anything. Like, I've
been trying to get away from that as much as possible.
I don't do that. Like, I missed on Thor 20 because of the whole speculation of whatever's God of Hammer or whatever. Yeah. And I didn't care because I'm like, I have it on my pull list. My shop messed up. I hadn't been in for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh, it's cool. He's like, I'll make it work. I'm like, dude, it's fine. I'm like, I'm getting a mail call, a mystery box that has it coming in. I'm like, I just want to read the book. So, like,
on to your point, then that's a really good point about like how the channels do evolve over time, you know, and you know, you do one thing for so long, you got to switch it up. So how long do you think a channel can just be like a fuel factory to funnel people to sell books way over market value until you have to swap it up?
I think honestly, because of the marketing of collecting it, it's going to be forever. I mean,
forever. That's my only thing. I have no problem at all with Tom. I don't know the guy. What I think is unfortunate is that if someone goes and Googles, what should I know about comics? They get sent to somebody who's about to rob them. And I also think he has a huge fan base, you know, rightfully so. He's a great character, you know, he has a great presence or whatever. But if you don't know any better and you go and listen to his content, it's going to intentionally send you to go spend way too much money on stuff that you don't have to spend a lot of money on. And it's unfortunate because like people like Reggie, who's like I'm here to make sense of collecting and give you good this and that. Yeah. And now he puts out this book that if you go and look at the back of it, which he showed off, he's sending you to these people that are about to bust your head on comics too, when I'm sure that Reggie knows tons of people in this community that are reputable, good-hearted, long-term collectors that would do you right, but he's sending you to these social media characters that have these huge overhyped trains that are just busting heads. And that kind of hurts my heart. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. I'm not going to knock anyone for their hustle, like make money, but that just hurts my heart.
Yeah. I think there is though. There comes a point in time. I get what you're saying about like if you go in and buy like, you know, because you watched a video and now you're buying what is it, the timeless cover B that had the clock variant, you know, and because now it's selling for $20 and you go buy it for $40 because you think it's going to be because it's the first cover appearance of the clock little character from the TV show.
You're trying to buy it to sell it. You're thinking like, oh, this must be an important book. And it's like the whole connection between like Key Collector with Comic Tom and Bry's Comics. Like, it's just, they're not working together to supply the comic book community with a great source of information. They're literally working together to supply each other with money. And that's where that ends. That's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it's not presented as that. And it's not their job to present it as that. It's just.
And that's where I'm at. My thought is, okay, so maybe you watch some of these, you know, bigger channels that hype up a book that might not have the value. They might someday have the value. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But if that's your only source of research, that's and you get burned once, fine.
That's
you get burned twice, you get burned 3 times. Eventually, I mean, that's why when you do we got taught this in middle school. When you have to do an essay, you have to have multiple sources. If you apply for a job, you have to have multiple references. So my only knock is I think they provide a service from the aspect of I like it because I go, is there something that might pop off on something that I like? And I think if you are a collector that can hone it in. Now I know it's tough to say because it's just like any addiction with drinking or, I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole, but like,
let's go.
But you can't, like, it's hard to, you feed down that feed, right? Like you can't help but yourself like, oh, well, if this store book, I don't collect Thor, but this store could pop off someday. That could be the next null that I'm missing out. Like, holy crap. Like, what do I need to do? That sucks. And you just need to get help. But for me, I look at it as like, I mean, there has to be some way that these bigger YouTube channels, I mean, that's what they're doing. It's their job is to make money off of YouTube. I'm never going to be at that. I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but I'm never going to be at that stage because my content is I make game shows with my wife and a cooking show about comics, and then I interview creators. So like
your Mr. Miracle sandwich was still the best one.
What?
Your Mr. Miracle sandwich was still the best one.
It was, and it was great. And I talked to Mitch Jareds about it. And
did you?
Yeah.
That's
so
fantastic.
He retweeted it or liked it at least, something like, or he commented. I was like, "Oh, that's so good." And I saw him at a con like a month later. I was like, "Man, I really wanted to bring you a sandwich." But I was like, I feel like COVID, this would have been inappropriate. He's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah!" It's like you made the sandwich off of our book, like so. But that's neither here nor there.
That's like the ultimate cherry on top for that project y'all did.
Right.
Dude, that's fantastic, dude.
Yeah.
And see that, and in all sincerity, what you just said right there lends to what. So this is just me personally now. Like I've grown up around this shit. So like the community that I've seen my whole life, back before comics were fucking cool, back when I'm literally in school reading The Long Halloween when we're done doing work in graphic arts class, and people are like, "Oh, you're reading a fucking comic book." I'm like, "Yeah, douchebag, you're not." Back in those days, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the community I have like a perception of the community. The people that I find myself enjoying spending my time with are not the kind of pieces of shit that would use the community as a way to hoodwink people. To me, that's lowbrow and is a poor representation of what this community is. There's always going to be people like that in any aspect of any hobby, period. But it's just unfortunate that the ones that are pedestaled are those motherfuckers right now. Not any specific person, but a person that would choose to partake in those kind of activities for self-gain. Fuck the rest.
See, I will say this though, and again, I'm not saying you're saying. I watch enough of Tom's content that like I think people focus in sometimes too much on the top 10 keys because he has connections with Key Collector and Gem.
Well, I don't watch his content. It's just like hearing like this.
But like I mean,
errors and
because and I'm being full disclosure here. Like I typically do a Friday night show with Fire Guy Ryan every Friday where we talk about comics. And Ryan's really good friends with Tom. He's on his show a lot, and they, he works with Russ at the shop, and like so. I watch the content more often that Ryan's on because they sit there and talk about comics, and there's not speculation. It's talking about like, hey, I read the recount from Scout, and like let's dig deep into the recount, and it's a really
dude. That fucking book is good. I bought me a copy.
It's really good. Nice copy. They just talked about Not All Robots, or and so I think I will say like that's what I'm saying. Like I think if you focus in on one aspect of a channel, this is all they're trying to do, and you don't give yourself a chance to see the other content that they put. But because he does a weekly speculation video, people go, oh, if it's speculating that they're trying to like. I will say this:
it's not just speculating. It's
buy this comic or manipulate the market, whatever you want to say.
Well, no, it's just the obvious, like scratching each other's backs, and for the people that, again, it's just like those. Like I mentioned, it's very specific here. Like there's people that are coming in trying to find out what is what with the comic community, and that's where they get sent.
Right.
I think is unfortunate. Again, nothing against these people. I actually respect their hustle. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock anybody for their hustle. I just think that is like, it's kind of like the same concept when people get introduced to comic books through Marvel movies, and then they come over and start reading comics, and they pick up a shitty Marvel book, and they start saying, "Oh, this Hulk book is the greatest shit I've ever read," and you're like, "Motherfucker, please start reading comics. Don't stop here. Keep going." So when you go look up about getting into comics, and you find one of these crazy auction sites or this excessive whatnot sell or this crazy speculation video, don't stop there. Keep going and actually get into comics. You know what I mean?
I miss that, but But I mean, yeah, you're always gonna have that. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever watched a full Reggie Collects video, and that's no knock on Reggie. I just never have had it. I never like dug in, fell into the hole. I fell into the comic Tom hole when I got into collecting, and that's kind of just where my, I kind of branched out because of that. But I don't watch it as much anymore because I'm watching you guys, who I'm friends and closer connection with, and having these conversations. So I think it also is just as you always have to expand. You're always going to figure. We're always growing, right? Like I don't have a Tupac poster in my bedroom anymore like I did when I was in college. Maybe someone still does, but like you of course, Mark, you go to that like, hey, night Tupac, but like you're always growing and figuring out like what it is for you. And you're also, but I mean that's also life. Like you're gonna figure out like who are people that are gonna help you, and who are people's brands that you respect that are going to help you grow and help you do things. And, and that's where it's like, I said it from the get go. I haven't been able to watch as much of your content lately as I wanted to, but I'm still giving you money to support, because I appreciate what you've done, Mark, and our friendship throughout all that. And I think there's an element of that too, of like, you're always going to find people that you connect with more. I hope you do. I hope you took that comic that you bought of mine that has me and my wife on it, and it just sits there in your bedroom and looks over you at night, Tyler. That's
he's actually sending me selfies. It actually lays between him and Lisa in the bed.
It would make me extremely happy if that's the case. Like, and then made in the pillowcases, and
I think it probably makes Panda jelly. Hella jelly.
Oh, I forgot that was on your show, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was on my show. So the one thing I would say from this takeaway, since you guys have been talking a lot longer than I have on my own show.
Sorry, Vincent, it's your show.
It's fine. But I will say that I agree with both of you guys. I think there was definitely a time and place where the content that Tom was putting out was very helpful in the beginning for starting out, but his channel has changed and grown so much and become something different for a new collector. It's not something that I would necessarily direct a new person to go watch, especially if they're trying to find out. But if somebody's been in it for a hot minute or whatever, it's like, hey, this would be a good avenue to go to because this is something they do all the time. I also will say that unfortunately I have had to utilize Key Collector more often as of late because the entire infrastructure that Go Collect was previously is not the same as it was before, and I feel like their entire interface is a piece of shit now, and it's really hard to find the stuff that I'm looking for with the specific detail that I need. And Key Collector does have the specific stuff that I need to look at, and for the most part it seems like it's become a lot more accurate. But other than like the descriptions and first appearance notifications and stuff, I still don't look at Key Collector for the prices. I think the prices that they have on there, like the estimates are just outlandishly incorrect for the most part. But, I do think that, everybody has to grow.
It's just that it's a resource, and you should never rely on just one resource.
Right. But
with something like that that's so large, like there are tons of errors on Key Collector, tons. But I mean, that's got to be expected to a degree,
right?
And I do think isn't I don't know, but isn't there a feature in it where like people can like send in corrections or catch updates or stuff? And because I see like where people post where they credit people who caught this or that kind of thing.
I don't know. I'm not subscribed to Key Collector, just like I'm not subscribed to Go Collect, so I just use the free feature. So I don't know if you can like Wikipedia edit stuff in there like that. But the point I'm just trying to make to piggyback off of you guys is probably more so Greg is just like looking at
email to him. Yeah. I don't think you can go on Wikipedia, but I tried out Key Collector now. Like I don't know. I think it's just because I'm just kind of like already used to doing things like whatever way. Like I read the Overstreet for one. Like I've always like enjoyed looking through Overstreets and stuff. And Google itself is like it really is helpful of a tool as I've ever really needed. But I do use Key Collector when I'm I played this show called Guess That Key. It's like a 10 questions game trying to guess a comic that someone's holding. So as you start narrowing it down, Key Collector was fantastic. Like when you know what book you're in and you're trying to find that specific issue to go through there, that was a great tool for that.
Dave Enrique, I started watching Comic Tom because it reminded me of Mark Mothersbaugh, the singer from Devo, but then he started to sound like Carb Seamus, the guy who started Wizard Magazine. Okay. What Tyler say? Someone emailed them about the new God of Hammer's appearance, and they changed it from cameo to first appearance
before it came out, and then Comic Tom did a video about it before it came out.
Yeah, so like it's stuff like that that's very sus. So like it's not something that I'm really going to be watching on the regular. I'll watch some of Reggie's videos every so often because I feel like some of his helpful tip videos and stuff is beneficial. I do appreciate the stuff that he does for that, but it's also kind of hard for me to like watch some of his haul videos or whatever because he just goes to a storage container with $100,000 worth of comics and just is like, oh, I'm pretty sure I have this key or whatever, and he comes out and he's like, I've got like 20 of them, or it's just kind of hard to like, I don't know. It just feels a bit weird watching something like that. But his videos do offer something for me now from a collecting standpoint, not necessarily like a key haul or a video or something like that. But, those guys have definitely times and places for different levels of collectors throughout their career.
For sure.
And it's just fortunately, Tom's videos just aren't geared towards me as a collector unless there's something actually very specific that I'm looking for that he's talking about.
But again, I think we're talking about a channel that is not geared towards anything that we're specifically looking at.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
And this all goes back to the mystery mailbox, by the way, just because like that's how I started the conversation with mystery mail calls and stuff. So,
but I mean, when I first started collecting, I was looking at, okay, what are some key books? What do I need to get into? And when I started collecting about 3 years ago, again, when a shop opened up, I was so turned off.
I'm the same way.
I was so turned off. I went into a comic shop, I think like 10 years ago, and I was like, hey, there was this comic that DC and Marvel characters fought, and I read as a kid, and I was like, I loved it. And talking about the amalgam, that 4-issue, and then the amalgam that they did. And this store owner looked at me like I was an idiot. He's like, they would never do that. And in turn, I look in hindsight and I'm like, oh, he's an idiot. He didn't know anything about. But like they're like, Marvel and DC would never do that. Like I'm like, no, I swear, I bet I can find it online. And he's like, then buy it on. Like it would just have such a negative,
more than once. You know what I'm saying?
I had such a negative experience that I got turned off on it. And so, but I say all that to as I get back into collecting 3 years ago, when I first started getting back into collecting, I was like, okay, what have I missed? What do I need? So I was looking at the keys. I was like, what are the hot books to pick up? Well, now 3 years later, I don't give a rip about Noel. I don't give a rip about the first appearance of Thor as God of Hammer. I don't even know if that's what he is. Or
it's the hammer itself is the God of Hammer.
Again, so I don't give a rip about that.
Yeah.
What my collecting now has been is I want to focus in on Batman, Batman Volume 1 specifically. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm looking at Key Collector to say, like, there's 713 books in Batman Volume 1. I look at Key Collector to say, hey, is there something here that I'm missing? Or, oh, this book's marked at, this book is marked at $35. Like, is there a reason? Or is this just a shop that doesn't know what they're doing, or trying to oversell? So, like, or I look at Go Collect, or I look at other. So it's all about now. My collecting has shifted from when I first got into the hobby. And I think it's shifted for a lot of us. And so I think when you get into the hobby, right, you want to get all the new stuff and all the craze. And I think as eventually you figure out what works for you. And some of it is, I want to stick with that.
Yeah.
I want to get all the
content has served its purpose up until you started to kind of really find out what you want to do. And that's the point that I'm, making as well and agreeing with you on that aspect. It's 100% exactly what that is. It's just, like I didn't know if anybody still did, within the circles, that we're all a part of, still do the mystery mail call. So I was just really kind of curious to see where it's at.
And I do, because I mystery boxes always got me. I was doing a mystery pop culture box before I got back into collecting comics. There was a company called Bambox that they still do stuff.
Cool stuff in those.
And they did autographs, and they have props, that replicas and stuff. And I found some really cool things
in the most recent one. Like there was a Homelander coin.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, so
it actually has monetary value. Like it's an actual minted coin.
Oh, that's really cool.
And like, I mean, I've got like the Superman key, like the crystal that he puts into the Fortress of Solitude.
Okay.
I've got like a replica of like the Goonie coin that they use
cool.
or a replica of like even the space dive from the Han Solo movie, like simple things like that. So like I got back into mystery boxes because I like that aspect of they have a mystery box comic now, and I'm kind of glad I'm out of it because I watched it and I'm like, the value isn't as much.
There was like a signed Miles shared exclusive.
Yeah, so one of the first ones they did was
a 300 homage.
One of the first ones they did was for the comic box. So they did a reprinting of a variant of The Boys issue #1, and they had it signed by Garth Ennis, and you got a slabbed Garth Ennis, and then you got the raw copy as well. So you read it, which I thought was a cool idea. But so I got back into mystery box. I got into mystery boxes because I like that. Like, what am I gonna get? I had to tone down my mystery boxes because I'm like, I can't drop $120 while I'm still buying weekly comics. If I wasn't buying weekly comics, fine, I could do mystery boxes all I want. So I found with the Comic Tom, I don't always get like big hits. I got like, I think one mystery box I got, not the mail call. I think the biggest book I've ever gotten in a mystery box was a first appearance of Carnage. But I bought probably 30 mystery boxes, and that was the first like big book I got.
Yeah.
So
I like to always make that comparison, especially when I see a mystery mailbox or whatever, and somebody's able to hit big or they don't hit big. I'm like, well, not all of us can be Skeff hits an invincible first print #1 mystery box, or it's so hit and miss.
I hit that big one and got that first Carnage, and then so Dustin of Two Brothers, they decided that they wanted to show we were in the Babylon. They were talking like, oh, Bearded hit big. Like, here, they showed my entire video on their Babylon rather than sending people to go see. So like 30 people watched my video of me hitting big and then didn't see it on my channel. I'm like, you suck, Dustin. You got to send it to my channel.
Yeah.
And I say that to his face all the time, so I don't care if anyone clips this. But but I mean, that's the thing is like I like the mystery mail call because at least I know I'm getting an exclusive one now too every month.
And that's the type of stuff that you want. That's the type of stuff that works for you, which is good.
I was getting the what is it, the Box Heroes, and I liked the first couple ones I got, but then I was getting variants of comics and getting comics that I got every single week. Anyway, I literally got, I think 4 months in a row of Box Heroes, I got some type of copy of 3 Jokers, one of the issues, one of the variant covers, and I'm like, I'm already getting this. I don't need this. So like, that's how I had to weed out. Like, at least if I'm getting a mystery mail call, a newer book, it's an exclusive variant just to that box.
Yeah.
And so that's for me. I was like, I still get that itch of, ooh, am I going to get something big? I never do, but I at least get a variant that I can't get anywhere else. And I'm like, I'll take it for $30 a month. That feeds that need for me.
Yeah. I can't do the mystery box because like I would be more comfortable, I guess, paying, the $35 for like the mystery mail call versus dropping a couple $100 or more on a different mystery mailbox, because like I don't feel comfortable dropping that amount of money for a maybe, and or unfortunately having a Journey and Mystery mail call box situation happen. Like I can't do that. I don't want to make that risk, because if I'm going to spend $777, I'm going to drop that on 1, 2, 3 comics that I know are going to be the value. You know, it's just like something I can't do. I can't deal with that. And
but that's why I got out of the mystery.
Right.
That's
and
why I got out of the mystery box unboxing game on YouTube, because there's I get, because
Larry
I
Chris.
think if you're doing unboxings, you're not buying comics weekly as much.
Right. You're right.
I'd be shocked, because my budget for weekly comics, and to do some of these, or you have a good job, because I can't justify a $775 or $777 mystery box.
Nope.
In in every single one of those people's defense who's bought and opened one of those, every single one of them sell comics.
See, and I don't do that. So that's, you have to have
that either. You have to have that avenue.
You have to have that extra income.
Yeah.
That's why I got out of. I was
Yeah,
like,
they
I can never be an unboxing channel.
Yeah, they didn't spend their paycheck on those
Yeah.
boxes. They spent their comics on those boxes.
Yeah, like, I mean, I watched DJ's video of that, and he's like, I'm gonna sell this, I'm gonna sell this, I'm gonna sell this.
Yeah.
I haven't sold a comic. I mean, Mark literally was like, hey, I'll buy a print from you. I'm like, oh, no, I'll just give it to you. Like,
that's how I am. Like, I'm over here like pretending like I'm peddling books, but that's because I've never sold any of my books. I was like, hey, I need that. I want to sell these. Or hey, Vincent, you want to buy a Swamp Thing? Like,
Right.
I don't have an eBay store, and
Right.
I got my second Instagram page, but my dad like runs and manages that, where we're just posting like 90s books and stuff to get out of the collection, which he's the one packing them up and moving them and all that. It's effortless on my part, you know?
Yeah, I did those 2 auctions, YouTube auctions with the boys, and like after that second one, it's like, man, I'd really like to do this, but like I had to like go out and find stuff that I could actually do, and it like that wasn't like my version of collecting, so like it wasn't going to work long term for me, and like my collection is already small as it is. I've only got 369 comics in my whole entire collection.
Oh,
That's
wow.
it. But like all the stuff in here has got like major value, or it's like super important, you know, to me personally. So it's like I can't even like get into the selling comic book game. So like I couldn't even buy a $777 mystery mail call to be like, all right, let me just see what I got. You know, let's just ride the wave on this. You know, I can't do that. I'm not about that life. So like I'm just gonna keep, you know, buying the books that are like valuable and like long-term holds, and the super awesome fun collecting part of it. Like I can't do the mystery mail call. And watching those guys like Southern Comic Geek, like, oh my God, I felt so bad for his video. And
it
just
was horrible when he pulled a $500 slab out of that box, and it was still more than $150 under value.
Yeah.
That was like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, that was a fiasco in and of itself. But
That's
yeah,
they used fiasco.
Yeah.
I'm blessed that like I have the space that I don't need to sell my comics to make space right now. So like,
It'll get there one day.
You
either stop or it gets there. Those are the only 2 options.
Well, to be honest, it'll be I don't have to stop, and I won't get there. It'll be how well I like with clutter, because like my comic room is often the unfinished part of my basement, like elevated, so at least to keep them protected.
Mm-hmm.
The finished part is like the primo books, like, but the finished part is the basement is my domain.
Mm-hmm.
And like I could probably get a lot of freaking comics in here, more than most comic stores, if I want.
Just get your storage shelves like up to par, and then you don't ever have to worry about it.
I don't want to. But
That's
it
like
will come a point, because I don't want to clutter.
Yeah.
There's like there's a part of the house at my mom's house. You know, there's a whole little house in the backyard that's insulated, heating and air and everything, that has a full comic book room of like laminated posters and original art, and long boxes all the way around it, on tables and under tables, all organized. And there's this whole room behind me in this wall that's completely full. Then there's my dad's house, who has a whole large room that looks like a comic book store all the way around the walls.
Oh, wow.
Like multiple tables in the middle of the room, everything on tables, under tables, stuff stacked all around. Then there's he's got more than 10 years worth of like weekly pulls that he just would leave the store, write the date on the bag, and put it into a tote. And he's got like 50 totes worth of back issues that he hasn't read, bagged and boarded, put away yet. And then there's the whole attic, the whole Pop's attic page. It's a literal attic that he He like redid, like put in new flooring, spray foam insulation, put in a heating cooling unit up there where the entire attic is full now. It's just they're
Damn.
everywhere, and we're having to get rid of tons to make room.
Yeah, that is a lot.
I also don't own a shop, so like this helps.
Yeah, like since my situation has changed so much, like my comic purchasing has also changed, but not like in a necessarily bad way. Like today was like the first time that I was like, okay, like I now had to like dive into a 4 short box and was like, okay, that's too many comics. I need to trade up and like get some bigger, better single issues here. So that was the first time in a while I did that. And I was like, all right, I'm done with Donny Cates, Venom, and Thor. Let's just get it out. There's too many issues. Let's just knock it down. So that's
you already sold that one issue on your auction, didn't you?
Yeah, I sold. Yeah, so the entire Venom run I sold was complete except for the issue 3 because I had already graded it and sold it.
I've got a number 9. You want to buy it?
No, I got rid of it. I don't need it. I don't care about it anymore. I'm done. I'm done.
Tyler brings up a great question.
Who here has the most Dick Tracy comics? Well, obviously he does.
Me.
I don't think I know anybody that is a Dick Tracy fan except for Greg. So yeah,
Greg and my dad. That would probably be it. Hoarder's Hide.
So your dad's a Dick Tracy fan?
Dude, my dad. Dude, you have no idea like how big this collection is. Yeah.
His collection is different. Like,
no, he all that shit. Dude, all like Dick Tracy's not even obscure in our household. That's like mainstay kind of character.
Well, send your dad my way. We'll talk Dick Tracy all the time.
He would love to.
Tyler needs a number 3.
So like I don't know if you how much like beyond just like collecting the comics about Dick Tracy, but like I grew up like watching the old black and white serials. I still have the VHS tapes that are all the hot neon colored VHS tapes. There'd be a blue one and the pink one and the green one and like the bad guy with the hook hand and shit in the boiler room, and like that was all mainstay. When Warren Beatty made that movie, dude, we watched it till the VHS burned out. Like it was he was a mainstay.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm probably the only person that has a YouTube channel that has an entire shelf shrine to Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy is just a detective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say just a detective, like
there's
almost a hint of like what's the word, like discuss, like, oh, he's just a detective.
I know nothing about Dick Tracy.
The man. Yeah.
Just put some respect on it, Vincent.
I know nothing about Dick Tracy, so
he's like the origin of Badass Rogues Gallery. That's where they all lead back to him. And his villains never last long. Like he would either kill them or they would indirectly die trying to avoid getting killed by him.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. It was really cool. Flat Top was like one of the only ones that they brought back because he was just cool as shit.
Flat Top is good. Itchy is great.
Mumbles.
So this is just a glimpse of the shelf.
You got to get those 90s figures. You know what's cool about those 90s figures is the way that the
I have them. They're top shelf.
Oh yeah, they're closed. I was going to say the way that the bubbles are molded to the card, where they're not like the big bubbles. They're just wrapped around the figures.
You can't see I have
Were those little big books?
What?
Were those 2 little big books that are on the second shelf?
Yep. Wait, show it. So where, right?
Right. I'm sorry. Underneath the thermoses.
So underneath the thermoses, yep.
Those are 2 little big books. And I know that because like right now, today, my dad just bought the last 2 Buck Rogers little big books that he was missing. He has all the little
big books. And this is the racist Dick Tracy cartoon show DVD set right here.
Mm-hmm.
Board game, the video games. Yeah. Coffee mug, thermos, yeah.
I have that same DVD set. It might be right here in reach.
Yeah, I mean Dick Tracy. So Dick Tracy was one of the first comic book movies I was able to see on the big screen. So like it held a special place in my heart as a kid. Like my room, you know, like how people used to have like the border. Like if you had a bedroom, you had like like I don't know why people did like a fourth of a wall, not even a fourth. It was like an eighth of a wall, like border print. Yeah, so you got the Blu-ray.
Of course.
naturally. I had that around. I had the Dick Tracy sheets, the comforter.
Jesus.
Dude, I was obsessed, and it just stuck with me because it was the first comic book movie I got to see on the big screen, and I was hooked, and I bought everything.
I mean, like, obviously not like back when it came out, but did you notice, like, the guy who was beating up the kid in the beginning, how he was like kind of modeled after the Goon?
Yeah.
Yep. It's fantastic.
Yep.
And it was in that movie, you had Warren Beatty, you had Madonna, you had Al Pacino, you had freaking the guy who plays Inigo Montoya from Princess Bride was 88 Keys.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Hoffman was Mumbles. Madonna.
Yeah, it was just, and the Rogues Gallery, like the Rogues Gallery was so great in Dick Tracy. They literally killed off like 6 members of the Rogues Gallery, like famous people, in the first 5 seconds of the movie. They knocked out the Rodent. They knocked out Littleface. They knocked out so many. And I apologize to however many people are watching this now, and we're talking about Dick Tracy, and no one else knows about this or cares about it. But
I know absolutely nothing about Dick Tracy. So,
have you seen the movie?
No, you're talking about. I'm looking at it right now. The 1991.
Yep.
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, so Vincent, your job, not like this week. Your job is at some point watch that movie.
Okay.
Just watch that movie at some point. Yep. So you have those, dude.
I'm
so
what?
Look at the back.
Normal shit in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the back, Mark. What's the name on the character? Like, it's the most racist.
Which one? There's 2 of them here.
There's like 4. So the Dick Tracy cartoon show followed like 4 different characters. There was one who was an Asian character. There was like a dog. But like, it was like, I'm just like, holy cow, this is the era of the decade. I'm like, you can't do that anymore. Do they say the name on the back?
Nope. We got 32 episodes here. The Parrot Caper, Hawaiian Guy, Phony Farmers, Funny Money, and more. You read it out loud.
I'm getting. I'm sending my Plex downloader, dude.
Mumbles, the Brow.
So here's this was the show.
That's the box set. Yeah, that's the box set.
The box set. So what they would do is they followed around 4 different characters. Dick Tracy was never in this show, right? Like, except for like the first like 2 seconds of the cartoon. And it was follows his 4 characters that they would follow was Joe Jitsu, Go-Go Gomez, Hemlock Holmes. So Hemlock Holmes was the dog. Joe Jitsu was this guy right here. And then they had a character named Go-Go Gomez. Like, you can't do that anymore.
So not has aged well, basically. It's like Seinfeld.
No. But this is a cartoon, so the movie still ages well. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I got it on my Plex request for them to download it, so at some point I'll watch it. But yeah, I know nothing about Dick Tracy whatsoever, so I watch something new, watch something different. Hopefully, okay. Is it going to be better than Eternals?
It'll be more enjoyable.
Okay.
But that Dick Tracy movie won won more Oscars than most comic book themed movies have, because the cinematography is gorgeous in it. The color scheming that they do, like, you have to also take in mind it's 1990, but like,
it was done on film. So if I could watch it in 4K, I should watch it in 4K.
Yeah, it was done really well. I thought they did a really good job of making it feel like a comic book movie, taking you into the movie, into the world, and the color schemes, it's just great. I'm always going to overhype it because I have my love for Dick Tracy, but it's so good.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give it a watch. You have hyped it enough for me to give it a watch.
Dude, it's an amazing movie. It really is. It holds up.
It really does. And
Just because the intentional tone and style they go, and like you pointed out, like the cinematography and like the art direction that they went with it, it's going to be a timeless film because it doesn't just capture an era, it captures a comic strip of an era.
So, Vincent, this movie, a comic book movie, won 3 Oscars.
Comic strip. You can like even give it more credit. It was a comic strip.
It was a comic strip because all the comic books are literally just collections of the comic strip from the newspapers. Like that's what they did. Okay. So it won best art direction, best makeup, and best music.
Oh, sweet.
And I mean, a comic book movie to win that many is impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it was nominated for 3, I think, and it won all 3. So no, Al Pacino was nominated for best actor supporting role.
Oh, nice.
And they also were a nominee for best costume design, and it was also nominee for best sound. Yeah, so it got a lot of freaking nominations and awards. So
awesome.
Hey, Tyler, you're welcome. Thanks. It's it's what I do. I preface it of, hey, it's not something that aged well, but the actual movie did age well.
Right.
He also pioneered the smartwatch.
Yes, he did.
Like you can't say like as soon as you saw smartwatches, like holy shit, Dick Tracy watches are finally real. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. Like when you start talking on watches, like, dude, that's calling Dick Tracy. Like, let's do this.
I have one that's out of package and in package.
Yeah, well, you did say you're the biggest Dick Tracy fan and memorabilia collector. So yeah,
one definitely. Of them. So, man, well, we've just fallen down a rabbit hole. So there's a cartoon museum here in Columbus. I've never been, but until this year, they have like it's a museum, comic strips. So like Calvin and Hobbes, Foxtrot, for better, for worse, all the stuff you read on the Sunday, newspapers.
Garfield.
They have at this museum the actual drawing board that Chester Gold drew Dick Tracy on.
Mm-hmm.
And the drawing board is like all burned black on the right side of it. Because what he would do is he would burn that part of the drawing board to dry the black and the ink on the paper faster so he could make more comic strips.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was cool to get to see, like, I'm like, this was my childhood, like what was drawn on it. And I get to like take pictures of it and see it. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
But that's awesome. So Dick Tracy is like indiest of comics, right?
I mean, Dick Tracy is not, I wouldn't say comics because Dick Tracy is more of a comic strip.
Right. Yeah, so like it's like as indie as you could possibly get without being a comic kind of thing.
Definitely not indie because like when he was coming out, he was like that was like prime stuff. Like it wasn't like Dell that picked him up.
I
think it was Dell and Four Color that picked him up, and like Four Color Comics or something like that, because they ran the comic strips, just putting them into comics for a long time, and then it hit a point where they actually did a first original story in it. It was like issue high ungodly
Harvey number. I think did the first original. I think did the first original. So a lot of my childhood comic is like Dick Tracy. The Phantom is another one that I loved growing up as a kid, and they were comic strips in the newspaper. And a lot of the comics that you had, the old school comics, aren't worth as much because they're just reprints of the floppy. So a lot of those that you're seeing, like, well, that's the first appearance of Dick Tracy right there, I think.
So is this one that you have or you're trying to get?
Oh, there's no way I'll own it. It's so freaking expensive. Okay. What is it saying it's going at right now?
Well, it says here high is 6K, low is 720.
Yeah. And I think their pricing undersells a lot. No, the Dick Tracy, the oldest comic I own in my collection, I think is like a 19 39 popped wheat comics. And it's a Dick Tracy one that you could get from promotional for sending in stuff for a cereal box. Which, speaking of cereal boxes, I heard Mark talking about this earlier today on the stream before I was on. And now Mark's not looking at me.
I was replying to somebody. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the video I got today, Jonathan, War Machine Punisher, sent me the cereal still sealed with that on it.
Yeah.
Here you go, Greg.
I put an ASM 300 in the video, and still that Batman boxed cereal with that bank was my favorite thing in the video.
Oh, it's this bank is awesome. I just recently gave it to my daughter to use for a piggy bank until grandma got her a ceramic actual piggy bank, which is stupid, but whatever.
There you go. You can get you a number 1 for just under $900.
Yeah.
Or you can try to get Hoarder's Hide to sell you one, but he won't come off a penny.
No.
Hence the name Hoarders.
And he hides them.
Yeah, in plain sight. That's the worst part.
All right, so I'm looking at DC stuff right now, movies and TV.
Good man.
We've corrupted you or enlightened you, I guess.
No, I've always enjoyed DC. I don't have as many DC comics as I do Marvel comics, but I am super excited to see The Sandman on Netflix. I've got my number 1 at CGC right now getting graded. I hope it comes back high grade. We'll see, but I'm going to be excited no matter what. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Green Lantern. I want them to drop that trailer because I got my Guy Gardner over here in the 4.0. Just
the worst Green Lantern. God, I hate you, Vince.
Are you reading Human Target?
No, I'm not reading any
Not
comics.
you.
So
Yes. Oh, heck yeah. And that panel, that panel is so freaking good.
Greg, the only reason why I have the Guy Gardner is because of the Red Lanterns.
Again, he's still the worst one, so that's fine.
I would like to get the John Stewart.
They know he's the worst one, and they lean into it.
Yeah.
That smug ass smirk.
Who is that? Is that
That's
Gardner?
Guy Gardner.
Oh my god.
I literally screenshotted it because I'm like, where's like all the moments wasting time on this idiot. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah, the honestly, I'd rather have the John Stewart first appearance rather than the Hal Jordan.
Fuck
Even
that.
though
I'd rather have the Alan Scott first appearance. Cut bullshit. That's where you go.
Well,
Scott, god dang.
Well, I connect more with the John Stewart because of the Justice League animated series. Like it's so iconic, and he's such a good Green Lantern. And
you literally have named every Green Lantern that isn't as good as the best Green Lantern so far.
Well, I'm getting to it. Like, I want to get Kyle Rayner.
There it is.
But the thing is, that book is on my wish list, and it's still there. And every time I go look for it, I should just buy it on eBay. But I'm just trying to look for it in the wild. But
it's super affordable.
I know.
It really is.
I'll probably buy it like this Sunday or something, or this Thursday or something like that.
Throw everyone a curveball and let's screen share and buy it now.
Do it.
All right. Let's see.
Sunday's so far away.
Oh, it'd be Thursday. I get paid Wednesday night.
That's even farther away. Just go and get it now.
Sell another short box. You don't even have to with this.
I don't want
grab
to
that
spend
9.8 right there.
I don't need that 9.8.
How much is that 9.8 going for?
179.
Ooh, I just bought a 9.8 of that at a secondhand store for $50.
How many do you have now in 9.8?
I only have so I have 49. I have 50, both in 9.8s. I have I think probably 2 raw copies of 49, the first appearance. I probably have 2
first cover.
What?
Is 50 first cover?
50 is the Hal Jordan with the gauntlet, the iconic cover, where he has all the rings. 51 is the first.
Here it is.
Rayner.
49.
Yeah,
and then 50 is the first.
So 49. So 49 is that, 50 is that, and then 51 is the first Kyle Rayner
cover. Yeah.
So yeah, 48 is the first Kyle Rayner appearance. 49 is the iconic cover. 50 is the Hal Jordan.
Vince, why don't you just find the best Kyle Rayner issue there is and get the refrigerator issue?
Which is what, 54?
Did it happen that fast?
It happened quick.
Look, do you want me to buy the book or do you want me to keep looking at other different books? Like,
no, I want you to quit looking at the edges of this book and just go get the 9/8.
No, I'm not. I don't have 179 to drop on a 9/8 slab, and I'm not a big slab collector. So like,
oh well, then don't get the slab.
This is not. I'm not getting the slab.
So
like,
48 was Alex's first appearance in Green Lantern. I'm looking it up on a Key Collector app
yeah.
Let's see if I can find something cheaper than $20.
$19.99 is cheaper.
54 was the death.
Oh wow, God, that happened quick.
This is $8 shipping. This is free shipping.
I'm good. I called it. 6 issues, and you got to think too. Like the first 4 issues that Kyle first appeared, he wasn't even in it really for much.
Now, was this your favorite Green Lantern before you had the creator on your channel?
Yeah, I reached out because of it was my favorite. So I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah.
Comics. So Kyle Rayner is my favorite. I grew up with Superboy. I grew up with Peter David's, Claw, Hook, Aquaman.
Yeah.
The Bane break.
Oh, I really wish you would have seen my video today because it had that Batman box. It had the Total Justice action figure.
I'll watch it. I'll go back and watch it. So don't worry.
You don't have to. I can just show you now. Save you the time.
No, I'll watch it. I'll get you the view time. But no, I then had Daryl on my show because he's from Columbus and my favorite. So like that was geeking out for me. So,
all right, I'm gonna buy this one.
Don't you do it.
Why? It's $19.99. I'm buying this.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah, like what? Do you want me to buy the book or not?
Yes, buy the book right now.
No, buy 2 copies.
I'm not buying 2 copies.
No, just buy one. I'm not going to be Mark. Just buy one.
I wanted one.
Don't you already have one? If not 2,
probably.
Yeah, probably.
All right, I bought the book. Damn it.
Anyways, 90s. Peter David, Aquaman with the Hook, Kyle Rayner, Superboy.
Yep. So that tells you if I have a creator on my show, 8 out of 10 times it's because I reach out to them because I like the book, or it's like,
or because they're still alive at that point, right?
Right. Like, or that they respond to me. So I've had a couple big creators that I've reached out to still that are like, cool, send me the link of your channel. I'll check it out, see if it's a fit. And they're like, and I never hear anything. I'm like, at least you responded to me. That's cool enough. Like, I'll take it as a win. But Daryl I met at so he's from Columbus, and they did one of the breweries around here did a beer tasting with Daryl Banks and with a local comic shop. And what they did was they paired off each different color ring of the lanterns with a beer that would what beer they would represent with that ring. And that was
really on brand with what you do with Instagram, where you
it is
with beers. That's pretty cool.
So I was like, these are my people.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've got this really cool ring set, because back in the day, the only place you could get really cool, quality comic memorabilia was through Previews magazine. They would in DC Direct or Marvel Select and stuff like that wasn't in shops that often, because it wasn't a huge market for it. But there's this actual Green Lantern set of rings, 5 of them in there. So you get Alan Scott's ring, which looks like a classic lantern. You get Hal Jordan's ring, Kyle Rayner's ring, Sinestro's ring, and Power Ring from the Crime Syndicate, and it's fucking badass. I like me some Crime Syndicate. But I don't know why, but Alan Scott will forever be my favorite Green Lantern. And it's not like I like him more than the other ones. Just something about the fact that he's got that old school shtick. I like the JSA people a whole lot. You know what I mean? It's just
I respect that.
I can't even really compare them to like the Earth Prime people. You know, they're their own thing completely. That I just find a completely different like enjoyment out of. I get a different. It just feels completely different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like a comparative thing. I just fucking love JSA.
I need to get me the Justice League 31 too. I'm missing that book.
Which is that the Jessica Cruz?
Yeah.
So I have the entire run of the Jeff Johns, Ivan, Justice League, and the only books I'm missing are, I think it's 30 and 31. So is 30's a first cameo, 31's a first full.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have like issue 50.
Time to get it.
Yeah, there's a couple on here, but like I've spent a lot on comic books the past couple of days, so like I'm not going to pick it up. But there is a couple on here about like $40. There's a couple that are like $40. Hey, if you want to buy me one and send it, go for it. If you got multiple copies, you can send me an A-OK. I'm fine with that.
What
but
is it? Justice League? What?
Justice League 31.
30 is the first cameo, and then Justice League 31 is the first full appearance, I believe.
Yeah, 31 is the one to get out of the new 52.
So like what was I about to say? With that show looming and knowing that Jessica Cruz is going to be in it, like I don't think these books are going to go down. I think 40's a damn fair price.
Yeah.
Throw a link to it in the private chat for me, please. Don't link me to a 9.8 either, you cheeky bastard.
No, I'm not telling you to actually buy me the book, Mark.
That's what.
No, we're not buying it for you. We're buying it for us.
Oh, well, I'm not doing that. You can look for it on your own if that's the case.
You said buy you the book.
He did. I'm not.
Not you.
I was kidding. Goodness gracious.
I was gonna just like not feed my kids lunch tomorrow and just like,
they don't need lunch.
Vincent needed a book. Just take a nap. Take a nap instead.
Oh man.
No, but in all sincerity, I think that there's one for like $25 sitting at an LCS here in town.
Yeah.
If it's there when I go tomorrow, I don't know if it's a 9.8 contender. I remember looking at it because I'm always looking for shit to throw into the monthly giveaway box. Like I picked up a first Omega Red for this month. I've already got one for next month, but I'm always trying to grab shit at good deals when I find it to throw in there. So, but I looked at it. There's like 3 or 4 little color breaking spine ticks.
Yeah, I don't care about condition a whole lot. I do. It's definitely a factor, but like it's got to balance with the price. It's got to be a good balance. Are you guys excited for Aquaman 2?
Oh heck yeah!
Yes. Dude, Aquaman was when I hopped on here with you, Aquaman was playing on the TV over there. My kids still love watching that movie. I love watching that movie. I
really want to get me. It's still on my wish list. The Aquaman 35 first Black Manta. I don't know. That character is just so cool. Just an evil pirate kind of dude. I've got the pop. Like I really want to get that. I've got the next best. Oh,
I'm excited for him to rock his blue suit in the movie.
Yeah. I've got the next best, if not cooler looking Aquaman book.
Aquaman number 0 from Peter David.
No. This one right here.
That's a good one.
That's a good cover. Oh yeah, that's fire.
Literally, like I think that cover looks so cool. I think this is actually his second appearance, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but
for that being such a great cover, issue 1 of that series, the cover blows with the 2 like molting monsters shooting little fireballs at them.
Yeah, the blue suit. Yeah,
I love the blue suit. It's cool. I don't prefer it over the other one. I think his classic suit is always going to be my favorite. But that Peter David era, man, that was just fierce. With the two-tone green trunks and the slight armor and the fucking hook. What?
Like I really like that Aquaman from the animated series. I liked that Aquaman where, you know, he's got to save his son, and so he cuts his arm off to be able to do it. Like I really like that character in that story. And
eaten by piranha.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Here it is, Greg. This is the one that was in the video. This was my favorite toy line growing up. When Total Justice toys dropped, I'm like, these are insane. Like,
they're so good.
Yeah.
So good. I love it. I love it. Yes. Let's go.
I'm just going through the DC stuff over here. Are you guys what's y'all's take on the Black Adam?
Oh, get here.
I'm so for it. Are you kidding me?
I'm really excited.
I'm in. So
I want him to be evil. Let's see Black Adam at his evilest. I want to see it. Let's see. Oh, did you guys I need to look up the channel. Hold on a second. Where is this dude? I'm trying to find this channel, but he had a 9.8 of that Shazam 28. Came back at 9.8, and it's Dragon Ink Comics. Have you guys heard of this channel? Okay, so he got this book back from CGC in a 9.8, and he was going through and looking at it, and it was like, oh, this looks really great. You know, this is going to be, you know, whatever. And then he's got like a super magnifying glass, and he's looking at one of the corners, and there's like a piece of the paper just like barely detached. And he's just like, what the hell is this? Like, it was encapsulated like that. Like, you could see, like, just it's so fine. Like, I honestly was like, I think you're being a bit too harsh on it, but like, it's a 9.8. If he was to, like,
his last 3 videos are called Crappy Comic Sellers and Dealers.
Yeah. So like he's very critical, but you know, it comes with our territory, right? But like a 9.8 Shazam 28, you know, the big first, you know, second appearance, but like
first silver Black Adam, right?
Right. So like a 9.8 of that book is just like, oh, it's insane. But I'm ready to see an evil Rock Dwayne Johnson. I want to see that. I'm also really interested to see how Pierce Brosnan is going to be as Dr. Fate.
Right?
That's going to be really cool to see. I think Dr. Fate had one of the coolest finishers in the Injustice video game too.
Ooh, I don't remember what was the finisher.
I don't know if I could play it.
Ooh, I hope you get copywritten.
Feel like that would be really bad. No, I'm not going to do that.
Are they going to demonetize your video if you do?
I'm not even capable to get monetized. I just
show it. Then I don't want to
get risk. There's no repercussion.
There might be repercussion.
Didn't you just change your email address and just get back on YouTube?
No, I'm not doing that. You guys can look it up. Just
just show it, then we'll sub push for
Mark is right. Come on.
No, I'm not doing that. I already bought a comic book on the stream. I'm not going for a strike or
return the comic, get the strike.
No, I'm not doing that. But
yeah, I'm about to hop off here and go lay down. I am off tomorrow, but that means that the kid, I got to be able to operate with the kids.
No, it's all good. We've been going for 2.5 hours. It's a pretty good stopping point anyway.
Yeah,
so
no, that's good because I'm just looking at comics on eBay now. I've fallen.
That's what I've been doing.
This is what happens when you come on my show. You want to buy comics. All right. Thank you guys for coming on.
You bet, brother.
This is a lot of fun. I've been missing this, so stay tuned. Next Monday, I'm going to put out the thumbnail here in the next couple of days. I'm going to do my 500 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to put 3 books up. One of them is going to be, if not
Power Ranger book that you just bought.
No, it's not going to be that. No, I don't have that.
You do now because you bought it, son.
No.
You didn't buy it?
No, I bought the Rainer book. I'm not putting that up for.
Well, okay, that's all I care about.
That'd be a good giveaway book.
No,
No,
that's from my collection, so I finish it out.
But you bought it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I bought it.
I expect to tag. I expect Mark and I to be tagged when you post that.
Okay, absolutely, I will.
For his giveaway, I'll be giving away a Justice League 31. I'm just kidding.
All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you on the flip side. All right.